Good num morning. We're back with session 5 of Atelier Lydie Suelle, where today, well, I said at the end of the last stream I was going to do some grinding off screen. I ended up not because I didn't realise, look at this, we're completely surrounded by events, including the Atelier. So if I leave to go do any grinding, when I inevitably have to come back to the Atelier, it would trigger another event, which has a star on it, so it means it's important. So I was just like, I should have checked that before I wrapped. Oh well. That being said, my priority today is getting back on top of this. We still need to find a crab, so it's going to just be fishing like a maniac. Spending and doing requests, that's fine, we'll do that in no time whatsoever. Making the high price blue neutralizer and the quality up yellow neutralizer I want to do in a sec. And then synthesis and strength me, hopefully we'll just kind of stumble into as we go. But firstly, let me double check which order it is. High priced blue. Oh, well there we go. That was easy. That was easy. Nah, don't really need to do anything. And we need quality up yellow. Oh, and the cutscene. Lydie, Sue, I'm coming in. Oh, hello, Theoris. Hold on. Did we tell you where to find our Atelier? No, Bill Myra told me. There's something I want to ask you both. Tell me if you can. Are there any legends about thunder in this region? About thunder? Let me see. Yeah, there's one I can think of. The Legend of Thunder God. Ooh, that sounds pretty promising. Can you tell me about it? Sure. Long ago, there was a raging god called Falgia, who raised this area with the power of lightning. Eventually, a hero and an alchemist worked together to seal Falgia away in a painting. The thunder god Falgia, an alchemist, and seeing a god in a painting. That all sounds like the final boss of this game. Everyone living in Adlet knows this story. It's very famous. Parents even tell their kids they'll set the thunder god on them if they don't behave. I always thought it was just a fairy tale, though. I have no idea if it's real. No worries, thanks for telling me. I think that's supposed to be, here's a little something. Here's a little something, a thank you gift. Meat! Plenty of it too. That's quite the thoughtful gift. Hey, so that's where you get strength meat. You have to wait for Theoris to just give it to you. You think? That one meal for me. I hope you enjoy it. Should you just admit that she did that to bank in her favour? That this is one meal? I wonder why she wanted to talk about lightning all of a sudden, though. And it's yellow with quality up, so... Is it just quality up, or is it quality up plus? We'll find out. I'll do both. I don't know if well made will count because it's both stacked up. It didn't. Yeah, no, it has to be just quality up. It didn't because they stacked. Didn't even think about that. Of course it's stacked. Watch me not have any more quality ups after that. Don't you dare. Don't you dare tell me I only had one quality up and I wasted it. Reapply burn, fast defense, empty skill power, enhanced finisher, destruction up, fixed power. Priorities, and creature. Oh, thank God. I was getting nervous for a second there. I was like, I might load my save in a sec. Oh. Very nearly was about to just reload my save. Okay, it's fine. It worked it out. Alright, that one page is all done. So we need to use the strength meat. How much do we actually have? Okay, so that's fine. And we've still got plenty of our Bomb-mageddon. The only real place we're going to is the ice area, so I can stick to the fire bombs for now. And I'll do that. And do that. And then we just need to use them when we're out and about. Anything else we can do right this sec whilst we're here? Can't do the Krev thing. Take on requests. And because it's nighttime, all the events are gone. People don't want to talk to us during the day. During the night, they're only during the day. See, now we have to take it, because it's a book. Sure, we'll take that. We really have no honey with quality above 60? That's kind of surprising. Oh, what? Oh, it always defaults to no. So we need to go to the Path of Resolution at some point to get the Immortal Essence. And we need to go kill some wood golems. And is it something we're going to know? Hang on. So basically just pay attention when we see an enemy that looks different from what we're used to, it's that. I'm also kind of half paying attention to the mini-map. If you see a skull and crossbones, we know it's the quest enemy. Yeah, I can see it. And what was this one? Small enemy, greater power? Alright. Jesus. So now she's laid her attack down. You can see it on the bar on the side. Oh! Oh! It's weak to everything, but oh! I get it, okay. I'll take the risk. I shouldn't have had him defend. Yep, as I say, I shouldn't have had him defend. I just did it impulsively. If it's weak to everything, is it potentially weak to insta-kills? No. We did get a crit though, but... Removes any states and activates a time card. Okay. So you just get a battle mix out of her if you use any kind of stat boosting item. This is we need to start working on that. I'll have a meat bit. That counted. We're gonna be here a bit. Actually, no. It has to be Furious that does it, otherwise I won't get the bonus. Gonna be here a while. I've got to have Furious defend because Buddy Boy's defense doesn't exist. Because I made him that way now. Yep, so that puts that heal in place for later. And then the group heal comes in. And then the time card's going to kick in a sec. Ensuring we have plenty of time. We're going to completely run out of bombs. I should really be going for the IK every turn just for the off chance. Damn, 154 damage. Fierce. Fierce has turned into a little monster. I love her. Heal yourself, baby girl. There we are. I was gonna say, are two heals coming our way? Okay, that's charge. Oh, we did get some heals. Is he heal blocked? Why didn't he get healed there? That's in place again. I might have to swap Furious. What Lydie and Suelle? Yeah, it's kind of doing this all week basically, dude. We're just fighting the boss with all the optional boss that has way too much fucking health. We get a break. Good. I hope that's not. It's just change order. Damn it! I was like, please be a heal that I think I have stacked up. No, it's what I've been looking forward to. Oh well, cheers. Ugh. Matthias is almost definitely going to die next turn. How close are we? Jesus, still 1400. Having a lot of trouble gathering all of Kurumi's OST into one place. I'm not surprised. Although Sega aren't as bad as some other companies, Sega can be pretty on the ball of not letting music just be freely out there a lot of the time. there's sometimes they can read the room and let it go. Like if there's, say for example, a song that has like 6 million views, they can read the room and know it's in their best interest to leave it. But if it's like someone just like mass uploads a whole soundtrack, they'll probably take it down. Or is it just in general you can't find every track? That's not the issue. Cell Guard would be a suicide move for him if I did that. Let's just go for that again. Is he... Oh, there's a consistent track list. Ooh, yeah, that's fair. My control... I'm... There'll be people who upload like only certain parts of the OST but never in full. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, that is kind of shit. What? Okay, he's on the last 1,000 at least. If I attack again, it will... I'm just gonna hold off. Yeah, I'm gonna let that roll back. I think I need to swap out Fierus. Like new uploads, all the bass tracks, but I need the extras. That reminds me of I think it was Yakuza 0, where it's like everyone uploaded like all the main game tracks, yet like none of like the cutscene tracks are online, and I was just like, no, some of those cutscene tracks are really fucking good. I think it was 0 that had that. I'm gonna do a top 5 rankings, and YouTube making it difficult. Worse yet, the FDV doesn't even have a consistent track list. Ugh. And the thing is, once, like, if a game doesn't get a consistent track list at first... Oh, whoops. Fierus, you gotta swap, baby girl. I don't know what I'm doing with you, but we gotta figure out something. I mean, it's like a game that's, like, not brand new, and its track list isn't consistent. The more time goes on, the less of a general interest there is, so the less likely someone's about to go do it. It's why I took the initiative and did it for Dragonstar Varnir in the end, because no one else was. Oh Jesus, that's such a burn. That's such a commitment, the use Rally Decree. Her MP is gone. We're not going to do that amount of damage in the next turn. Let's throw another bomb and... I suppose I can help. What kind of defense name is that? And there's literally nothing else you can do because this is her entire game plan, so just... Oh, I wish I had more confidence we could do 111 damage. Oh, atta girl! Atta girl! That was a crit she got on the end. And so for Varnir, but I'd have to wait until it's until like $12 to play it. Like, all the previews I saw, points in still being less consistent. The biggest thing with Dragonstar Varnir, and it's the thing I said like almost every video when I did the Let's Play of it, I genuinely love Dragonstar Varnir. I love it so goddamn much. But it is extremely clear it's not only a low budget title even for Idea Factory standards, it's probably the lowest budgeted title they've ever made. There is a shit ton of corners cut, and I think it's such a shame because I really fucking love what it is. But you can see the holes, you can see the issues, you can see the lack of budget in areas. And like especially in the later half of the game, there's so much shit that you think the game's building up to and doing something important of that just gets done away with in a cutscene because they didn't have the money to actually do something with it. And I just screamed every time. It was like Dragonstar Varnir is genuinely like my top 5 favorite games from last generation, and I say that wholeheartedly. But holy hell, Charlotta! Oh yeah. I love Charlotta. I genuinely adore Charlotta to pieces. I love her so much. I can't, like, if you want to know how much how much I adored Charlotta. Like I said, before I wrote Demon of Zenelheim, I wrote Mary and Vincent. Mary pretty much is Charlotta, just without the magic. Not that much. No, I love what Varnir is. I've 100%ed it. I've done now 4 playthroughs, because I did 2 Let's Play playthroughs and also 2 in my spare time. I've seen the romance ending with every character, begrudgingly, because I'm not into lollies. But I still saw every sort of situation. I've seen both. I've got both the 0% madness and taken that all the way through, and the 100% madness and seen that all the way through. 100% madness is fucking miserable. But I loved it. And my second playthrough I did off my PS5, so the supers didn't lag anymore. Because if you play it on base PS4, some of the supers lag when you go to use them. I genuinely have a huge soft spot for Varnir. And on my very first playthrough, I romanced Minessa. Even though I loved Charlotta, I was like, oh, Minessa I think makes more sense. But then when I went through every pathway, I was like, actually no, Charlotta makes way more sense as someone to romance, because like their entire stories are interlinked. So is Minessa's and Zephy, don't get me wrong. But the general design based on Sherman's a parody name. Andrew Ryan from Bioshock. That's pretty cool. Yeah, the madness ending, like, because I Let's Played both pathways. I did the entire game twice on like Let's Playing it. Once on PS4 doing the true ending, and then once on PS5 doing the madness ending. And I spoke quite bluntly near the end of the madness playthroughs. I said I don't like this because I genuinely love these characters, and they all turn into monsters, and nothing works out. And Charlotta, like, you know, eventually tries to pull in the reins and understand that she can't do it, and it's just like, fuck. Yeah, I give you mention. I don't know if you ever watched my Venza streams. I mean, I suspected that guy like frame 1. Like, they're literally the very second I was on stream, I was like, oh, I bet he's the main bad guy. Lo and behold. Anyway, let's get the hell out of here. We're not going to like that area yet. It's like, oh, let me help this poor citizen, and I was like, You know? That impression. Yeah, I know. And then the other one is, and it was more subtle, but I noticed it, with what they were going for when they did it. The fact that, oh, right, my brain, it's too early in the morning for my brain to remember names. It happens every stream. The only girl you should be romancing kind of crushes on him a little bit, so it's almost like a personal thing as well. You're like, this bitch, when you see her, when you see him. Until it's revealed that he's an evil piece of shit out for blood. Tiara, there we go. I was like, in my head wasn't saying Tiara, my head was saying Princess. And I was like, that's not her name. It's something similar, but it's not that name. It's not her name. I said she's the only one, like, I've said it before, like, all the other characters worked better as either friends or like sibling-esque characters, except Tiara. It felt like the game was written around Tiara being a love interest, and at some point late in development, someone said, oh, we should really be making this an option and not something that's just part of the course of the plot. Because if you treat Tiara as canon, a lot of the plot is geared towards it. It's those two going from rivals and kind of hating each other to slowly but surely falling for each other throughout the course of the story. And even if you don't do her route, you still kind of see that in the cutscenes. It's just at the last second, suddenly he does, like, they don't commit on it, sort of thing. Like, it feels like they originally intended for Tiara to be the only thing, but then late in development, they decided to try and give players a choice, so changed it. But unlike Mary Skelter, where I felt in Mary Skelter 1 that worked alright, in Fairy Fencer I felt it didn't, because I felt like it was so... I don't know, at the start, they were definitely out for each other. Mr. and Mrs. Smith! They were definitely out for each other. She fucking poisoned him and he wanted revenge. And when they was about to rob him, the only reason he saved her is because he kind of had to, when originally he had every intention of leaving her there because he just thought it would be karma. It was only a little afterwards that she started to soften up to him, and because she softened on him, he softened on her, and it just kind of built from there. Okay, I'm starting to think I'm never getting that crab. Let's go back home. Give him the antidote. Yeah, only way after. Only after she got what she wanted. And she knew that he couldn't be a threat to her anymore. Sue, I've made some pancakes. I copied them from Mum's recipe. What do you think? Wow, they look delicious. Time to tuck in. They're good. Not too sweet. The perfect blends of honey and butter. Oh, I'm in heaven. And then, of course, there's that whole don't fall in love with me bit. And I'm just like... man, they really fucking wrote it to be Tiara's the one that he falls in love with. And it's like they wrote it to go that route with them. Right, I have the tea. I always got the impression that she was aware that he was around because of how much of a ruckus he makes wherever he goes, and she was just like, you know what, if I just try and get this, he might... Let me fall for it to begin with. Well, yeah, exactly. Well, it's the main reason, it's the same reason why people love Aerith in Final Fantasy VII, because she says the exact same shit. If you decide to try and romance Aerith in the original FF7, Aerith will eventually tell you not to. She'll tell you not to fall in love with her. And that kind of, at the time, back in 97, inspired people to do so more. Most people who don't like Aerith haven't played the original 7. And I'm not saying that as an insult, saying that your opinion is wrong. I'm saying that Aerith is written differently in everything that isn't the original. And... It's the most suffering thing. It's like literally the only thing I'm dreading about when the Crisis Core remaster comes out. Aerith is written as just a pretty flower girl to suit like the Japanese weeb culture in a lot of ways. In everything but the original. In the original, she had a fucking attitude. She had a very sharp attitude about her because she grew up on the slums. She grew up in the nastiest, most bloodthirsty streets in the city. It didn't matter that she was a flower girl. She was a feisty bitch, and that's why people loved her, because she looked pretty, but she'd kick your ass. And that's what I liked about the remake. The remake embraced that. But all the spin-off stuff, just make her the flower girl. I'm like, no! It's like every single time she was just the innocent, like, sweet maiden. I was just like, no, come on! Review about it, all said the same thing. That's fair. So I love what they did with Aerith in Remake. I think the idea of, like, her being aware of the script in Remake was an interesting, different take, but I also completely understand, and I'm excited to see where it goes with what they're doing with the Remake, because the entirety of Remake compared to the original can be summarized in 3 sentences. Red 13 is aware of the script, Aerith has read the script, Sephiroth said fuck the script. That's the entirety of the Remake plotline. And whilst the original was they're all following said script unaware, they're going through the events, whilst Remake is directly challenging it because, you know, Sephiroth is remaking the timeline, hence the actual naming of the title. And for me, I loved it. I know it wasn't for everyone, and I know some people absolutely hated it, but as someone who grew up with the original 7, and I know it's like my bias kicking into an extent, but as someone who's grew up with the original 7, Remake was everything I didn't know I wanted, because it wasn't just a straight remake. As much as I really wanted a straight remake, the fact that it caught me by surprise and introduced new twists and didn't go the direction I expected it to, made the excitement I felt when I was a 6-year-old wee lad playing Final Fantasy VII for the first time come back. And that, to me, meant more than anything. It's literally, you know that one scene in Ratatouille where the food critic eats the food and it takes him back to his childhood? That was me experiencing new twists in 7 Remake and getting surprised again. And that's why I love it so much, and it's why I'm even more excited for Rebirth Part 2, because it's going to be going in more of a different direction. But I liked it much more as I started the OG, and that's the biggest gripe I have with Remake in retrospect. The game isn't built for newcomers at all. Not fan picks up. That's a shame. I like Ratatouille. There's a scene in Ratatouille where the entirety of the film was building up to this one extremely cold-hearted, miserable food critic who's out to shut down the store, and he goes to it, and the meal he orders, when it's finally served to him, he takes one sip of it, his eyes widen, and it like sharp cuts to him as like a 6-year-old boy eating his grandma's soup and loving it. Like, it literally, the soup he has is so nice, it immediately takes him straight back to his childhood like a snap. And that's what it felt like to me when Remake threw new twists at me. It was Tactics on PS1. That's fair. Tactics is brilliant as well. Even if I'm not into that genre, Tactics is brilliant. It's a shame that nothing after Tactics really lived up to it. But yeah, that's not the biggest thing, is that Remake, it's a lie. It's not built for newcomers to introduce a new audience. It's entirely built for people who have a firm understanding of the lore. Because even the final boss, not the actual final fight with Sephi, the Harbinger, is one gargantuan reference to Advent Children. Because the Harbinger, the giant gargantuan Harbinger, is Sephiroth from thousands of years in the future, and the 3 coloured minions are literally the fucking Advent Children from that film. They use their weapons, they have their colours, and their names are referencing their ideals. It's literally the Advent Children, but that shit means nothing to someone who hasn't, you know, seen Advent Children. But if you have, you sit there and you go, oh fuck, they're all still alive. Because all of them are unkillable. Their souls were just separated from their body, so they eventually became these harbingers. They eventually became these demonic beings hundreds of thousands of years later, potentially, after the world ended. Because that's the biggest thing with Final Fantasy VII's world. About 9 or so months after Advent Children happens in the timeline, Final Fantasy VII's world straight up ends. The world doesn't recover. All of humanity dies, and all that's left are the beasts. Which is why the original 7 is so impactful, because the post-credit scene of the original 7 shows that world like 1,000 years later, where there's only lions and beasts who have reclaimed the planet because all of humanity is dead. Like, nature took back what was its, and humanity had no place in it. And so to see that these beings just became these monsters that kept this sequence of events in all future generations, to such an extent you see and fight them in the fucking remake, that sort of like, if you know kind of almost mentality they had with that game, just helped skyrocket my opinion of it so much. Because it's genuinely designed only for Final Fantasy VII fans. It masquerades as something that's more friendly to newcomers, and that's its biggest fault. But in the exact same way that I love Metal Gear Solid 4, if you are a fan of the original work and the stuff that came before it, the amount of fan service delivery 7 Remake gives you is absurd. But in the exact same vein, Metal Gear Solid 4, if you start with MGS4, you have no idea what's going on, the game isn't fun. If you played 1, 2, and 3, there are so many nods, references, callbacks, and deliveries based on what those games set up, that it becomes a masterpiece. And I'm not saying every franchise should do this, absolutely not. There's other ways, you know, a lot of these games would just kind of fade out and not work. But the fact that it happens every now and then, if it nails it, which I know some people don't agree with it, and that's fine, but in my opinion, Remake did. The only thing it didn't nail was the level design, because fucking God help Square Enix make good level design. I'll play with Revengeance. And you did what? That's it. Did you not like Revengeance that much? Because that game is like the highest fucking game in the world. So the biggest thing with 4 is that it is still a very fun game on its own merit, but when it originally came out, everyone hated it because it was so unapologetically embedded in its own story and lore. And you loved it. Oh, thank God. I was about to go, what the fuck? Like, it was so embedded in its own lore that genuinely reviewers hated it. A lot of casuals hated it. It just was like really like scorned upon when it first launched. It was only a little afterwards that people were like, no, it's really kind of only built if you've played the first 3. But if you have played the first 3, then it's like literally sex in a video game. It's so good because it delivers on everything. Any other MGSs, but it's a remake. And I still think that's a shame. Like, I know I'm extremely biased, but I still think it's a shame that there was such a mixed feeling on remake, because it felt like, outside of level design, because I said there were some chapters where I was like, man, this is just Corridor Simulator, which has been the case of Square Enix games since like 2002, for the most part. I loved it, and I loved it like unapologetically. Like, it was like I put like 300 hours into it, like non-stop. And that was before the PS5 version, that was before the Yuffie DLC, that was before all that stuff, you know? Is that for something you I personally don't? Yeah, no worries, dude. And I'm still hoping, I expect nothing new from Konami, and to be honest, I don't want anything new from Konami. But I'm still hoping eventually they will reach out to the third party that did the HD collection on PS3 and have them port that to like modern hardware. Because MGS 1, 2, 3, 4, and Peace Walker together in one collection still has a place in today's world. Even if MGS 1 is very dated, every time I go back to it, I still enjoy it a whole bunch. They made the most of their tech. They didn't over push things that they knew would end up making it age worse. They relied on fixed camera angles like, a good Resident Evil did. They relied on a limited but helpful selection of weapons that bounce off each other well. There's good secrets and rewards. There's 2 different endings that give you a different New Game Plus reward. One of them gives you the infinite bandana, the other gives you active camo. So if you want to play the whole game completely invisible, you can. If you want to play the entire game with infinite ammo rockets, you can. So New Game Plus also has its own charms and fun. And then like MGS2 is still such, even though a lot of people don't like Raiden, it's still such an impressive game visually and environmentally and level design, because you have to remember it only came out like a couple years after MGS1, and it was like a launch title PS2 game, and the fact that it was such an astronomical leap in technology from 1 to 2, like, so I know not everyone liked Raiden, and that's fine, he was a bit of a weirdo in 2, he kind of didn't find his footing until 4. It was still such a holy shit kind of game, if that makes sense. Like, you give it a 2 out of 10? Jesus Christ. I gave it like a 10 out of 10. I said personally 10 out of 10, mechanically 9 out of 10. I said if I put my bias to one side and look at it on a very technical level, it's a 9 out of 10. Because it nails everything, but the level design's got holes. It's got great music, it's got an extremely dynamic story, all the characters work with each other extremely well, and I love how real they all feel, even in the little moments. Although the side quests, not all of them are interesting, all of them lead to more story beats that expand things and give you options that affect later chapters. There's so many optional scenes and alternate takes that add so much replayability. The tournament mode you can do after you beat the game really tests you to your limits and expects the best of you, making it a really endearing and charming experience to go through. The super bosses you can find if you track them down are all really fun and unique and different from one another. The 4 playable characters all have something that ticks to one another. Air combat could do a little bit of reworking in the next game, but we'll see. But on a personal level, I gave it a 10. I don't know, dude. Like, I think 2 is still way too harsh. Personally. Because I feel like if you like even anything, that's immediately at least 3 points. Like, if you can find one good thing about it, it's immediately 3 points. 2 and below is when they're so bad. You've given it a worse score than fucking Ride to Hell Retribution. Dude, you're giving it a worse score than what IGN gave, literally the worst game ever made. That's why I'm a bit like, what the fuck? That seems a bit crazy. I don't know, dude. It's like, I get it, but I don't know. That just seems so aggressive to me. But then I also know I'm too nice to my own good. Depending if I give that a 0. Yeah, because that got I think I got a 3 out of 10, and the reason why I got a 3 is because at least it tried. I think that was literally what IGN said. It's like, look, there's cutscenes, there's voice acting, there's actual level design. It's just nothing fucking works. So they tried. Here's a 3. I get it. I'm so baffled that you ended up having such a miserable experience with it, dude. Listen, don't apologize for your point of view. It's so baffling to me. Because, like, I say that, I'm also the guy who doesn't like the remake God of War, so we both have our games that are extremely popular. But the thing is, like, and I can't stress this enough as something that, because I don't do it when I do reviews, and I make a point of not doing it because it becomes too easy to be like, wait a minute, but you gave this game this number, and that does. I never give fucking out of 10s or scores unless personally asked outside of a review. During reviews, like when I talked about the Neptunia games, like when I reviewed all of them, I never once gave any of them a score. I just at the end said, this is what I liked, this is what I didn't like, I can recommend it or I can't recommend it. I can't agree. 2 out of 10 to be fair on the game. That's not fair at all, man. I can't. I'm sorry. Anyway, we've gotten way off track. We've gotten way off track. At some point, I will live stream 7 Remake and try and show it in a... well, I say I don't need to, because I love the game, so I'll just play it as is. And hopefully that can at least show you that there is more to it than what it is, because as it stands, I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, I almost want to see how you played it. I just want to see how it went, what the little moments were, what points of it drove you off, what points of it did you give merit to, that sort of thing. I almost want to see the whole breakdown at some point. Because I infamously didn't like the reboot God of War. And I remember people getting on my case about that for a while. And I just was like, no, I don't like the gameplay style. The story can be whatever it wants, but the raw gameplay of it really, really pushed me away from it at every instance. And the fact that the challenge mode for that game was just kill 100 enemies in one room. I was like, great, fucking fantastic, I can't wait. Review called 86 gigabytes of alcoholism. The review isn't the best work. The general explanation of my gripes and problems. Yeah, I don't know if I'll check it out. If I'm honest, and I know this is going to sound vaguely naive and whatnot, but I've kind of leaned more into this as time goes on, because it just puts me in a better headspace. I try and avoid overly negative reviews like the plague. And it's not because it's like, I want to protect my mindset and what I think the game is and all that shit. No, it's entirely, I just don't like seeing people being like angry or sad or miserable towards any kind of media. Unless it's like controversy that needs to be called out, I'm just like, nah, because it just makes me feel miserable. So I just avoid it. Like, there was some YouTubers I used to watch religiously, and it's like nowadays I don't watch them at all because they're so bitter towards everything. I'm just like, nah, I'm good. So I'll be completely honest with you, I don't know if I'll watch it. It's why even like, when I reviewed Ninja Wars, although I had gripes with that game and problems, I was like, well, I don't like watching reviews of people being absolutely fucking miserable. So I'm not going to sugarcoat it on what I have problems with it, but I am going to lighten the load and be like, look, these are the problems, but I did like this and that. And it's 100% in my work. Yeah, and that's fair. That's completely understandable. Anyway, we've been sitting on this black screen for like ages. They're good, not too sweet. The perfect blends of honey and butter. I'm in heaven. Oh, stuffed. That was totally delicious. Thank you. I remember Mum used to always make them for us. Oh, Mum. To run the greatest atelier in the kingdom together as a family. Will we really be able to keep this promise? Hey, you're not backing down now. No fair. You always chew me out when I say things like that. Mr. Mum number 2, always keep your promises. I'm sorry, but in order to keep that promise... Ugh, smoke from the cauldron. I'm in a special mess. Where did I go wrong? Yeah, first we need to get our dad to get his act together. Yeah, because the thing with Ninja Wars, and I said it like adamantly in the review, the game is front-loaded with a bunch of mechanics under the hood and systems that can make it super fun, but absolutely fucking nothing in the game demands it of you because it's so easy. Outside of arguably the post-game challenges. Because some of them do actually expect you to kind of be on your A game, but it's only some of them. And I was like, and I remember talking about, so it's like, there's so many mechanics, there's this and that, and I went through every single one of them, and I went, this is all great, but you can do the whole game never touching any of them and you'll be fine. And that's the problem. The reason why games like Devil May Cry work is because the challenge makes you embrace all the new systems eventually. So you're forced to learn. The reason why games like Doom Eternal and Ultra Kill work is because the only way you get health back and the only way you get your resources back is to commit to the style and gameplay. You know, in Doom Eternal, you have to get right up in their faces and chainsaw those bitches if you want your ammo back. In Ultra Kill, you're literally a vampiric robot. Your only way of getting health is by getting the blood of enemies soaked over you, so you have to get in their faces all the time. There was Ancient Dragon from DS1. Fair. I was like, that was the biggest gripe I had with it. It's like, it's such a one and done game that could have been more if the challenge of the game and the enemy variety made you embrace the mechanics more. Doom ET and DMC also helped that their series has eventually improved. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, I mean, it took a fucking while for DMC to get there because, you know, DMC 2 was kind of thrown out very haphazardly. And even Doom had Doom 3, so we had to get there, but they got there eventually. Doom and DMC know how to evoke adrenaline. Oh, absolutely. Especially with how high the skill ceiling is in both of them. The amount of shit you can pull off if you really dig deep enough is absurd. Nice concept but poorly constructed. Yeah, Ninja Wars, like, at the end of it, at the end of my review, one of the biggest things I said is that I actually want Ninja Wars to get a follow-up. Not because I thought what we got was perfect, but because I can see all of the ideas that could work if they just kind of took some of them back to the drawing board in areas, or reworked a few of them, or just ultimately just gave it another go. Like, I can see the glimmers of brilliance in it, and it just kind of missed a couple points. And those couple points just unfortunately were too vital that it brought everything down. You know? Like, they had a really good building, but the foundation was kind of cracked. And so it just kept, you know, it was going to topple over eventually, and when you play it, you feel it topple. So it's like, if they just gave it a second shot, I think we'd get there. But the fact that the game didn't do well, it didn't review that hot, I don't know. I also hope it's not the end of Neptunia and Senran Kagura's relationship. I hope that game doing only okay. Same score as the 7 remake. Jesus Christ. Because if I had to give a score to Ninja Wars, I'd give it like a 7. Because I did enjoy it, ultimately. It just had a mountain ton of problems that held it back. I liked the ideas, I liked what it was trying to do, I liked where it was going, but the story was a waste of time, and the game never demanded any of the skills that it gave you. And so I couldn't give it any higher than a 7. I liked it, so I was not going to give it a low score. But there were key things wrong that needed to be there. But the fact that I wanted to finish it and 100% it in the first place was testament to me that I at least enjoyed more of it than I tell myself I do. I tell myself I really didn't like X, Y, and Z, but like this and that. But then I sit there and go, I did 100% it though. You know, it's like I wouldn't, because I'm a firm believer. No matter how important a game is or how significant a series is, if I don't like it, I will stop playing it. It's why I carried on with Furious. I liked Furious. I had problems with it. I still liked it, and so carried on. Gamers for totally my loyalty to Neptunia overall. See, yeah, I get that, but it's the only other time I can think of a game where I 100%ed it. Well, the only time I can really think of a game that I 100%ed where I wasn't entirely invested was Cyber Dimension, if I'm honest. And the only reason I 100%ed it is because once I beat the game, I was like, oh, okay, that was alright, I'm kind of done. I looked at the trophy list and realised how close I already was. And so I just went, oh, well, I might as well. You know? It felt like out of obligation, but I can guarantee you, and I can say this quite openly, the very second I platinumed Cyber Dimension, I uninstalled the game, and I've never picked it up since. Resident Evil 7 Remake, a lot of promised potential that was drastically short, in my opinion. I think it's like saying the biggest thing we need from Neptunia, honestly, is just something that isn't a spin-off now. And I know that's like everyone's saying that, and that's like not new information, but genuinely, like, the biggest thing that's caused Neptunia to not have, well, it was never mainstream per se, but mainstream-esque appeal, like the reason it was popular and kind of got around, was because of those main entries not being that far away from each other in their releases when you think about it. But then after V2, unless you want to count V2R, because, you know, that was technically like a reimagining of V2 to an extent, there hasn't been another mainline game since fucking like 2014 at the latest, or 2018 if you want to count V2R. And it's like, if they made a new mainline game to kind of center and bring everything in and move the main plot line forward again, because that's the thing with all these spin-offs, they're never going to have proper direction, they're never going to be consistent, because they're not allowed to do anything that could fuck with the main lore, because it's a spin-off, and they don't want to fall into the Kingdom Hearts trap of making absolutely everything canon, which is why pretty much none of the spin-offs are canon. And I wish they would take the fact they're not canon to just do what they wanted a bit more, but that's unfortunately not the world we live in. But if they just get a mainline that moved the line forward, moved things in a direction, like, I mean, like, I don't know, dude, like, I think Neptunia is, which is ironic that Neptune as a character is based on Sega, and the property it reminds me of is a Sega property, but it honestly reminded me of what Sonic went through in the late 2000s and early 2010s, where no one really knew what they truly wanted out of it. They just wanted something that would, you know, push them, because that was the thing that Sonic went through, and it still kind of plagues Sonic to this day, just nowhere near as much, where no one truly knows what they want out of Sonic. They just want something. They just want something that makes them smile. And we just don't, we get that so inconsistently with Sonic, and we straight up, in my opinion, haven't got it out of Neptunia for years. Get to a clear direction so we know what we can expect as fans. I mean, yeah, I've said it before, I really hope that Death End Request 2 and how it handled its characters leads to having some kind of inspirational work towards a 5th mainline game. Not necessarily just because, you know, relationships and whatnot, but just because I liked the character writing, and I felt there was a good drive for the characters in that. Senrun. I still need to try Senrun. I've got Burst Renewal, and technically I have the other one on my wish list. The reason why I say technically is because I said it's not technically on the PS4 store if you're running it on PS5. So I have to buy it through the app on my phone and then download it. I just have yet to. I still need to give it a try. Because my introduction to Senrun was the crossover character in Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle. And I loved her. I thought Yuma was really fun to play as. Which was a shame because I ended up not enjoying playing as her in Ninja Wars. So I was just like, ah, come on. I liked her elemental stuff, but that was about it. It's not necessarily just a fan base. I think they're similar. For the longest time, both of them were thrown in the exact same room as just fan service weeb bait, and people weren't prepared to look at them as any more. And then when you do look at them, you're like, well, Neptunia is actually pretty tame on its fan service for the most part. I'd say the worst one in terms of fan service is actually V2, and that's it. Because, you know, things like, you know, the 3 girls sharing the cauldron as a bathtub, or the stripping on the rooftop and all that shit. But even then, that was kind of it. And Senrun, the director of Senrun, said that the only one of the biggest reasons he made Senrun all female is because at some point he wants to make a game that's all male and then have them cross over. The reason why he did all female first because he's not an idiot, and he knew if he did an all female one first, it would just bring in more money, and he could then use that to make the all male one and then make them cross over with one another. And so it's like neither of them are quite the fan service sex fest that people outside of the bubble treat them as and put them together as. And I remember it because when I first played a Neptunia game, when very first time I played it, I had one of my friends go, "Oh God, you're playing that, are you?" And he'd never played any of the series, but he had heard of that mindset, and he like knew from that and firmly believed it was just that weeb's like overly sexy game series, and that's the biggest problem with the two of them, is that they're always seen as just that. As like by the general public, that's how they're always seen. It doesn't matter who I talk to, if it's someone who isn't invested in them but has heard of them, they only see it as that. It's only those who are actually more involved that start to see the differences and the individuality of them and what they're actually trying to do. The RPG stuff. Are you just not a big fan of action RPGs? Considering your low review of Ninja Wars, your baffling review of 7 Remake, and just telling me that I'm starting to think you just don't like action RPGs, that they're just really not your cup of tea. Then I fear, one man, you've fallen into, what's the review series called that The Escapist does? It's gonna bug me. There's a reviewer, and it's like his reviews are all like 5-minute shorts, and he always makes a point of basically telling people, stop asking me to review X, Y, and Z, because he doesn't like that, like he doesn't like these genres, so he's only ever going to give them like negative scores and negative press because he doesn't like them, so he doesn't want to play them. And every now and then there's some that are stupendously high demand, like he's not into fighting games, and yet everyone demanded he play Smash Ultimate, and then when he finished it, he's like, look, I didn't like it. What did you fucking expect? Stop asking me to review this shit. I feel like you're like, although maybe not the same thing, you're almost in the same mentality. I'd almost say, like, not stick to your comfort zone, but if you're not into the genre full stop, it doesn't matter how many niche or cool ideas are there, you're gonna struggle to appreciate them anyway. So I mean, I at least appreciate that you understand the brilliance that is Berseria, but still. So please don't ever take this as me like insulting or assuming or anything like this towards you. I don't think you're close-minded at all. I'm more just encouraging you to play the games you like. Play the genres you prefer. If you're not the biggest fan of ARPGs, of course you're going to give 2 out of 10s to ARPGs, even if they're like fucking sex the video game. You know? But then I say that, I was never, as a kid, I was never really into what I call like these more laid-back games, where like the story takes a backseat and it's more character-driven. And yet here I am now going through all the Atelier games, but it's pretty much that. Without the OST and characters. So on the back of my head, I'm just like, this motherfucker doesn't like Cloud, he doesn't fucking like T. I'm kidding. This guy, this what the fuck? Because I get people struggling with Barrett because he hasn't gone for his character development yet, so he does just come across as an extremist who shouts from the rooftops, because that's the whole fucking point of his character. Tons of tracks and none of them missed. Oh, I love Berseria's soundtrack. I actually have the live orchestra CD for Berseria's soundtrack. I have the live orchestra CD that has like the actual live orchestra recording of Velvet's theme, of the final boss theme, of certain dungeon themes, and it's like, I go back to it every now and then. Well, the thing is, nowadays people don't realize it as much, but back when I was younger, and especially when 7 first came out, Tifa was a feminist icon. And I'm not even like, there's no buts, there's no winks, there's no anything. She was straight up a feminist icon, because she was a powerhouse. She did what she wanted, she pushed for what she was after, yet was still vulnerable, still allowed herself to be sexy or beautiful and all that stuff. She was straight up an icon of the industry. And it's kind of funny because in the original 7, I didn't give a flying fuck for Biggs, Wedge, and Jessie, yet the remake made such an effort to make me care about them. They made such an effort to make me care about them so much. And I think Jessie also had the home field advantage that her English voice actress was Erica Lindbeck, and it's impossible for Erica Lindbeck to voice a bad character. It's just impossible. It's just an unwritten rule. If Erika Lindbeck is voicing a character, she's Margilu in Berseria, she's Futaba in Persona 5, she's Shion in Tales of Arise, Jessie in 7 Remake. It's literally impossible. She's Miriam in Bloodstained. It's literally fucking impossible. If she's voicing a character, you know that character's going to be the best character in the game. I don't make the rules. I don't make the rules, it's just how it is. It's like if Ray Chase is voicing any bloke, you know he's going to be a fucking champion that also likes fishing. You know, he voices Noxus, who likes fishing. He voices the protagonist of Nier Replicant, he likes fishing. He voices the main character of Arise, who fishes. We're not getting invested in was the president. Navy Corporation isn't Hojo. The president's entire game plan is drain the world of its resources to power the people. It's supposed to be grey. But it's also supposed to be they're fascists. Like, that's something I liked in the original 7. The original 7 straight up called them the fascisms, or the fascists, all the time. It was just how they were. It was just what they called them. Whilst Hojo is, I'm going to force Aerith to breed with an animal in the hopes that it makes an alternate specimen to try and get us to this magic religion land. There is no defense for Hojo. There is no defense for Hojo. I am sorry, there is no defense for Hojo. And that's not even the worst of his crimes. If you play the original, that is by far not the worst of his crimes. It's also not the first time he's forced a woman to mate with something. He's done far fucking worse. It's like, no. Never out loud say you agree with anything Hojo says, because that's a fucking death sentence. I like 15's mechanics. I adored Arden. I have a guilty pleasure enjoyment of 15. I think Royal Edition made 15 way better, and helped it out in a lot of ways, because ultimately the game was rushed and under budgeted and it was littered with problems, unfortunately. But its final version I still enjoyed a lot, even if it's problem. Defending Hojo, I can simply acknowledge he's enjoyable. Yeah, that's what I got. That's what you was getting at, that he was enjoyable. You know, as I was saying, just never agree with him. Because he's effectively 1/3 of the actual villainry. It's not the president, it's not Rufus, even though Rufus is a pretty fun antagonist in Remake. It's Hojo, and Genova, and then ultimately Sephi. Literally, like, Hojo's proper introduction scene is him bringing up the specimen and the degradation of Aerith's own mother to her, and how she was a fine specimen and all this shit. And I was just like, oh. With Hojo with his actions. Yeah, good man, good. You avoid being cancelled today. I'm fucking around, don't worry, dude. His theatrics, he reeks of personality, and his personality is easily the most rotten. Oh, absolutely. Like, when Vincent gets more properly introduced, a whole new fucking kettle of fish will be opened surrounding Hojo and what became of Vincent, and why Vincent is so adamantly determined to massacre that son of a bitch. It's not even like, yeah, I'm gonna deal with Hojo. It's like, oh, how are you doing, Cloud? Yeah, we're just gonna go see Hojo. Hojo! Like, it's that kind of, like, vicious, like, snap of the neck kind of hatred every time he's brought up. Anyway, back to happy Atelier Lydie Suelle. Say, Lucia, there's something we need to ask you. Really? It's rare for you two to have any questions. Go right ahead. I'll do my best to answer. It's about alchemy, more specifically, the temperature of the cauldron. There are Rakuf and Mugs type cauldron temperature controls, right? So with the Rakuf... Oh... What's got you so excited all of a sudden? No, I mean, I just wasn't expecting an alchemy question. I got a bit too excited. You've got some alchemy skills after all, Lucia. We thought maybe you could help us. You made the right decision, girls. Let your big sister help you out. Now, regardless of the type you are using, when mixing, you will first want to... Not the root for the protagonist's cause. They're either disingenuous or simply oblivious and idealistic to their goals. Yeah, this is why I say you need to play the original 7, dude, because that's the whole point of Act 2. Act 1 is letting them get away with the things they believe and only suffering some consequences. Act 2 is entirely attacking and degrading their entire ideology and making them face reality. And then it ends with like the 2 coldest twists in gaming. And then Act 3 is whilst the cast are at their absolute bottom. Now what do we do? Now how do we find a way forward? Because the world's about to fucking end. Yeah, but that was the whole point of Act 1. And the easiest way to look at Act 1, 2, and 3 of Final Fantasy 7 is the original Star Wars trilogy. Act 1 is the heroes get away with it, even though their ideology is flawed to an extent. And then the second part is where everything goes wrong and they're forced to face reality and they're forced to take losses. And at the end of Act 2, they're at their lowest point. A main character is dead. Another main character is straight up missing. The world is on collapse. No one's winning. Everything. The villain has literally just won. That's how Act 2 ends. That's how Empire Strikes Back ends. And then Act 3 is the, what do we do now? How do we find a way forward from here? And eventually crawling your way back up to getting a victory, but at what cost? I disagree. Star Wars, the original trilogy, I think is the perfect example because that's the core fucking inspiration of Final Fantasy 7. The entire 3-act structure of Final Fantasy 7 was inspired by the original trilogy of films. To have Act 1 be the heroes against the evil empire. Yeah. I'm explaining why the remake is the way it is. Remake deliberately only covers Act 1. Don't worry, dude. It only covers Act 1, and that's the point. Rebirth, when that comes out, either at the end of next year or early the year after, will be the whole of Act 2. So I'm expecting Rebirth to be fucking vicious. I'm expecting it to be miserable in places. And I don't mean miserable as in bad, I mean miserable as in tonally. As in characters are going to be driven to their darkest places, because that's the point. That's what happens in the original. Everything Barrett screams and rants about the Empire, and about the presidents, and about Shinra, gets so viciously hard challenged. Because he sees the destruction his rebellion actually causes firsthand. He sees people resent him firsthand. He sees people who have actually benefited from using Marco energy, who have benefited from draining that life resources to actually save lives, to actually benefit people firsthand. Barrett's forced to face reality whether he likes it or not. And every time he gets ignorant or stubborn about it, the world just punches him harder. And that's the whole of Act 2 for Barrett's character alone. And I haven't even touched on everyone else. You know? The prequels are not in line with an ideology, but in tone, focus on political structure and political ideology. Yeah, the prequel trilogy were almost entirely focused on international politics and commentary, it felt like. Barrett was him being a dad. Yeah, and that's also challenged for different reasons. I mean, it's obvious if you pay enough attention to little characteristics, even in only remake, but yeah, that's challenged as well to an extent in Act 2. I said, like, it's the biggest thing that I can't wait for Rebirth. For people who've never experienced the original, I can't wait for Rebirth. Because even though it'll be taking some things in different directions, the main core spine structure I'm willing to bet a lot of money on will still be the same. It's just how they get to certain places will be reworked. And certain things in between will be more elaborated on or more changed because there's no longer these harbingers of fate weighing everything down. Things will be different. With father biases, it warms my heart to see a happy dad thrive. Yeah, there's not enough in gaming. There's not enough. There's not enough good dads. I mean, this game is a poor example. Their dad's a schmuck. Their dad's an idiot. And I appreciate it more because I straight up don't have a relationship with my natural father. And so I appreciate being able to see it in game because it makes me feel like there's something there I get to experience something I never had through someone else, you know? Or not never, that's a bit harsh. I still had him for a lot of years. It's just we disconnected heavily in my later years. It's why I'm a lot more... I don't go around going Happy Father's Day when it's Father's Day. I'm instead very empathetic and just say, like, try and be more caring for people who either don't have good relationships with their old man or straight up don't have one anymore. Because, you know, it's just unfortunately the nature of the world. And so I always try and be like, make sure you like celebrate if you're going to celebrate, sure, but help out your friends, you know, keep an eye out on people. Anyway, well, that actually makes full sense. It's so obvious when you say it. Or his actions make more sense. I'm sure they do. Look, I've kind of already got a hunch on what his actual end game is. Because he's got his own painting down in this basement. Someone that these two thought looked similar to their mother is in there. I think he's determined to try and finish that painting to try and get his wife / their mother back. And he doesn't want to get the kids involved because it's dangerous and he doesn't want to risk losing them. Getting over it's difficult, and that's fine. No one should force you to try and try to get over it or try to think of it different or any of that stuff. Anyway, Lucia was made it so easy to understand as our teacher. Even Lucia, you say? I study hard every day, I'll have you know. I hate to admit it, but it really looks that way. Say, Lucia, I've got a request. Could you teach us again in the future? We don't want to bother Elmira too much. Sure, I can do that. Natural parenting style. Yeah, I'm sure there is our whole experience, but we'll see how it goes. I can do that. Come and ask me anytime. Just think of me as your big sister. This could get annoying. Maybe we should just go and see Elmira after all. Yeah, good idea. I think it'd be faster. Yeah, please don't explain more. Oh, respect your big sister, please. It's so cute when you're being daring. Yeah, she's determined. If you're looking for Dad, he's sleeping inside. He's got his foot stuck in a bucket when he was fishing and hurt his back. What? What the fuck's going on with your dad? Lucia? Anyway, we got other places to check out. I'm sure we'll press it, Elmira. Good, Puny. Use up as much as you can. Puny, Puny. Oh, you're really so adorable. Yes, it is adorable. Can I have a touch? Oh, me too, me too. Can I poke it? Ah, Sue! Lydie! Sorry, the door was unlocked, so we came right in. You two seem to be treating this place like your own house these days. No, not at all, but more importantly, teacher. What's it like keeping a palm-sized Puny? What do you mean? I've always wanted to have a palm-sized Puny ever since I was a little girl. And I was always told that she couldn't because I knew she'd make me look after it. But if they're easy to look after, then even I could do it. Then I could get one. So tell me, Elmira, do I have what it takes to look after a palm-sized Puny? Definitely not. What? How could you? That's harsh, even by my standards. Are they really that hard to look after? Not really, no. All you have to do is give them food and water every day. But they're so little, so soft, that they often get stuck in little gaps, in other words. I see. Sue's always so bad at keeping organised that she's guaranteed to lose it. I'm not bad at it! I just don't do it is all. Yeah, okay, Sophie 2.0. But if you want to keep a palm-sized Puny, you need to start by keeping your room tidy, Sue. I never anticipated this. But if you do learn to tidy up after yourself better, I won't object to you keeping a Puny. I don't know. I think I'll make do with coming to see Elmira's Puny. But I'm saying all you have to do is tidy up after yourself and you can have one. Times like this where I don't understand you, Sue. She wasn't even stroking it. It looked like she was just booping its nose. Oh, we'll circle back around. We've got places to be. Corey, please tell me you're opening up your duplication shop. Please tell me you're opening up your bomb tax. Please. What to do now? Cornelia, do you have a problem? Maybe we can help you. We solve problems for everyone in this city. At least that's what we tell ourselves. Is that so? In which case, let me try out your services. I want to bring in new products from my hometown, but it's a bit too far away. Watches and autographs are one thing, but cakes and vegetables won't last a trip. I see. I wonder if we could do something similar with alchemy, like a portable ice room? Oh, good idea. That would stop things from spoiling. Yes, that sounds like quite a good idea. Can I hire you to make that? Yes, leave it to us. We'll make sure that we can bring you all the delicious cakes. Oh, well, there's more than cakes. No matter. I'll just wait and see what you manage. And now we can go make it. No, come on, let me scroll down, thank you. I still need to turn that in. I also need to go back to the woodland path and clean them up. Let me go turn this in first and get that boop. And then we need to do one more quest for the journal. Yeah, because we need... What am I missing here? We still need to get a fucking creative. I need to I'm pretty sure it's just fishing, but I need to look it up eventually. We need to like spend some money, but we're in no rush for that. I do want to say, I want to max out every page as we go. I don't know for certain, but it's like, considering your level can affect your ending, your alchemy level can affect your ending, your friendship rank can affect your ending, the quality of the exam you do affects your ending. It's like, I'm pretty sure the ambition journal is probably going to affect it somehow too, so I'm going to fucking just max it out every chance I get. Oh, I've got one request. Could you show me the textbook that you used? Ooh, look at you. Elmira said it was hard to decipher and horrible. You want to see that? No need to tease her. Curiosity is a good thing. If you want to have a look, I'll show it to you. Oh, look at all that text. I can't tell what it's trying to say. Reading this isn't easy. It's filled with stuffy old expressions too. It's no good. I can't look at that. The person who wrote this must have been super strict. I guess you could say that. A very particular person, one might say. Hold on, do you know the person who wrote this? Of course, the book was written by my father. Look at the cover. Alfred von Lineweber. The same surname as you, Elmira. Yeah, fucking congratulations, Sue. Thanks, Sherlock. Hold on, Lineweber? How am I only just noticing this? You don't mean the Linewebers who are known as one of the three great houses of alchemy? That's right, I'm his heir. Even I've heard of them. I had no idea you were that incredible. A bad experience? What? Dare I ask? A super elite alchemist or someone who's just be chatting to you like this? You dummy, it's fine. There's nothing different about me just because of my famous family. I'm your teacher, and you are my students. That isn't going to change. So please, do try to keep up with me. I'm going to train you as hard as I can, you'll see. Elmira, we'll follow you as far as you'll lead us. To the ends of the earth, in the bar or the washroom. Ouch, jeez. You don't have to go that far, you need to learn some boundaries, you dummy, baka. Ugh. Yeah, I, touch wood, I've only been unwell once this year. Well, technically twice, but it's within the same month, so I'm pretending it's once. And that was back in January. That's interesting, cloaked. Ugh. But before we get too distracted, let's go here and start trying to work on this quest. 10 bite shrooms in the north and 3 wood golems in the south. I think we start in the south, so we should just start tracking wood golems. Moves like normal. That's something then, at least you're not bedridden. I forgot to restack my bombs. Okay, we'll make this work. See, this is why I need Corey to open up her shop, so then I don't have to worry about it. Gonna get 1,000,000 wood. There it is. Back in January, I celebrated New Year's Day by testing positive with the with COVID, and I was just like, fucking fantastic. And then what did I do only 11 days straight later? Start streaming. It's like my very first stream, the Danganronpa stream I did. When I started streaming properly, my voice is fucked for most of it. Because I was still recovering. I hadn't fully recovered yet. I was still trying to get my shit together. And then just at the end of the month, we had to catch a cold. And I was just like, great! Great! You know? I never had that. And I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. I know it hits everyone different, but it, Jesus, like, I still have, post-COVID effects on my body. There's still some parts of my body that are just weaker. I tire out insanely quickly if I'm walking around. And, you know, I had it in January, for goodness sake. It left that much of an impact on my body. I tore my throat, and I damaged my lungs because of how much COVID kept on making me cough and splutter. I completely lost my voice. I had no appetite. I'm not even exaggerating here. I got about 5 hours sleep across 12 days, and for some fucking reason, like I said, when I started one sign of picking up, one slight glimmer of starting to get a bit better, and what did I fucking do? Start streaming Danganronpa. Which is like in that first like stream or two of Danganronpa, I sound not quite there. And there's like an update video I did at the start of this year, and I was still like in the worst of it, or at least getting quite bad with it. And I did a video like talking for like 2 minutes, and it was so painful. But I wanted to do it to kind of make my point and being like, hey, I am alive. It's going to take me a while longer to get back to reality. Okay, so we need to go find those things. So it didn't matter where we did it in the field. We just need to go find those. What are they called? Bite shrooms? It's only quite common. But yeah, either way, it messed me up for a while. Yeah, I am as well, which is why I'm grateful I am. Because in my mind, if I hadn't been triple jabbed, if I wasn't, you know, in my mid-20s and in the prime of my health, or as well as I'm gonna be, if I, you know, didn't have all these things, if I was like a decade older, if I was slightly less healthy, if I, you know, maybe didn't have those jabs, it genuinely could have, like, well, I'll try not to make the worst expectation, but it genuinely could have, like, done a lot fucking worse to me, if you catch my drift. Like, it could have really fucked me up. I was extremely nearly hospitalized, because of it. And it's like, if I didn't have any of those things, yeah, there's no way in hell I would be streaming right now. In fact, if you catch my drift, I wouldn't be around. Imagine those shrooms are nighttime, so I've got to wait for it to tick over. So I had heart issues. Yeah, I have the luxury of being in the UK, so I had the NHS, so I had access to free healthcare to help load me up with things I need to try and benefit me and support me and keep me moving without needing to thankfully go into the hospital. You know, like literally, like our pride and joy is the UK's pride and joy is our fucking National Health Service. It's just a shame it gets so mistreated sometimes. So free care, healthcare, to be fair, and that's badass. It should be a standard. It shouldn't have to be something that we sit there and go, oh, some have it, some don't. It should just be a universal standard. You should have a right to be healthy. You know? It shouldn't be a paid. But I won't get into politics. I'll say it's not even politics, it's human rights, but you know, it's politics that's the reason why it's like that, so I won't get into that. Oh shit, did I finally get the crab? I did. Nice. So it's just one more request, money, and synthesize, which I want to do anyway. So yeah, we're pretty much done in this book. Imperial measurements of metrics, ooh. Because I'm a weird one. Despite being British, there are some measurements I use that are American, that are Americanized, or based in America, or made in America, or whatever. But some I use that are traditional, or you know, British, or whatever you want to call it. And that's not me taking jabs, by the way. Before anyone gets on my case, that's not me taking jabs. I don't care if you use Americanism or use Britishisms or Canadianisms or Australianisms or anything like that. Everyone has their own dialect. It's just American English. It was American English, American study, and American systems was deliberately designed to be easier to understand on a commercial level, which is why some things are so simplified. Whilst England still uses something called traditional English. I'm saying that's, once again, not me having a jab, it's literally what it's called. And so there are some things that still use, like we don't call it a sidewalk, we call it a pavement. And that also applies to a lot of systems and metrics that we use, obviously. Oh yeah, and every nation does have its ups and downs. The amount we pay in taxes is astronomical for literally no good reason. But then at least we get free healthcare. Yeah, you know? Which is more than can be said by some other countries. Alright, did that enemy even count to what I am pushing towards? I keep on going to check that. No it didn't. Okay. Is it you yellow guys then that are bite shrooms? No, they're light shrooms. Don't heal. Oh, you... At a young age, I was raised in a heavily liberal and multicultural family. Fair enough. So I was just replying to my mother quickly. There we are. Now, for me, like I was raised with very much a make up your own mind kind of decision in anything in the political realm. But it's also, like I said, I don't know. It's not that I don't like bringing up politics. It's more that I just think it's not worth the hassle. Because there's always going to be people that will feel strongly in agreement or disagreement with whatever happens. And it's like, it's not worth... You know what I mean? I don't know if you get what I mean. It's not worth the argument all the time. It's just like, yeah, you believe whatever you want, dude. I'm just going to do what I'm doing. Because even though, like, my mother is very much one party, I'll just put it that way, and my stepdad is very much a different party in terms of beliefs, neither of them enforce theirs on me. Both of them always say, make up your own mind. Do your own research. Make your own decision. If you agree, cool. If you don't, never mind. That kind of attitude. So, like, make your own decision and see how you go from there. And to be fair, and I don't mind admitting this, almost every single time I've had to vote, I've pretty much voted different because I redo my research on every like person who can be voted for every single time. Every single time there's a new election or something I have to vote into, I redo my research to see what they're actually after, what they're actually promising, what their track record has been before, etc, etc. I do all of that from scratch again. Which is why I kind of wish there wasn't that we didn't have so many elections, because it takes so much goddamn time, but I do it every time because I want it to mean something. I want it to matter. We wish from that. Yeah, and it's how it should be, because the moment someone tries to enforce their principles, they've lost the point of democracy. You know? The moment it's, you have to vote for this, you have to believe with this. If you don't, you're dead to me. If you don't, you're not one of my friends. So it's like you've lost the whole point of democracy. The whole point that everyone has the freedom to choose, not just you. And the reason why I get asked about that is because I had there was someone in college who was like that horrendously, and it was all the time, every time, and it's like, you can make up whatever argument you want, but I'm not listening because you don't understand democracy. You know, like only sifts steal in absolutes, absolutely, which is ironic because that sentence alone is an absolute. I need to reset the room. I just realised. No more the bite streams are spawning. I need to leave and re-enter. I need to watch some of the Star Wars again. I know a lot of people like despise the prequel trilogy, and don't get me wrong, I'm not the biggest fan of episode 1 or 2 either, but I genuinely have a guilty pleasure soft spot for Revenge of the Sith. And I can't explain why. I just genuinely have more time for it than most. I genuinely like the film. Since I was 11. That's fair. That's it. It's not that I've been studying politics as like an entire narrative. It's more when a new election comes up, I want my votes to mean something for me. So I do like dedicated research on like every single political party, no matter how big and small. Look into their history, look into what to expect from them, etc., etc., and go from there. I'd say I do it happily, but I don't. It's so time consuming. But it's more that I do it without complaints, because for me personally, it makes it mean something. It makes the vote significant when I make it. Because then I actually vote for something I agree with. And, because you know what I mean, like, there's always a problem. And it's going to be on my last real point on it, because once again, I don't really want to talk about politics too much. So my last real point on it, I don't like it when people are like mentally locked in to only ever vote one party, no matter how much that party changes. Or something like that, because it's just like, that loyalty isn't about to make your life better. You might just be voting for the wrong side now without realizing it, or a side that's not going to benefit you in the way they might have 2 or 3 elections ago. No, don't worry about it, dude. But so that's just kind of like my point on it. So I always try to pride myself on being able to talk about anything on stream, but as I always say, I also want. Also, as I say also too many times, because nerves are kicking in for some reason, I also always want my channel to be a safe space, and some people might hop in and not want to talk about that stuff, or not want to hear about it, you know? I always want my channel to be a safe space. People can just kind of hop in and forget the world and enjoy me playing anime games about girls shooting mushrooms, or shit like that. But you know what I mean? I always want to kind of just have that vibe, and for some people, politics completely makes them uncomfortable, because yeah, the world can be real harsh about it sometimes. There's another policy, and yeah, and to be fair, dude, although I don't chat in a lot of your streams, I do usually check in. I do usually pop in, and you always kind of give off that impression. You are pretty laid back, and you have a good communication with your audience. You don't just kind of say, fuck you, this is my way, and my way or the highway. You are pretty much like, hey, look, as long as you're not an arse, chill around. Your big sister is here for a playdate, girls. No one asked you to come. I was just about to take a break too. In which case, let's have some snacks in the chat. I'll make the tea. I do adore my audience. Good. And as you should, until they stop bullying you. In that case, in that point, you have to love them more, because then you become a real streamer. when your chat gang up on you at every opportunity, then you become a real streamer. When you make a mistake and their first response is to all put Kek W, then you're a real streamer. I jest. Anyway, I've been meaning to ask you, Lucia, just how impressive is it to be a certified alchemist? I know it's amazing, but that's about it. What are the details? Oh, good question. Being certified is the highest and only, really, qualifications for alchemists. They hold the exam once a year, but only 1 or 2 people pass. That means certified alchemists are incredibly skilled. You're already misinformed, Lucia, because when Furious passed, she was one of 3 people that passed. Admittedly, it was an exceptional year because Furious is insanely gifted. Elmira comes from a extremely prideful household that would have made sure that she was like the best in the world, even if they didn't really like her. at that point, or didn't agree with her practice at that point. And Sophie, you know, saved the world. So I know it's an exceptional year, but 1 to 2, come on, at least 3. I mean, that one child didn't necessarily deal with that struggle, and yeah, and that's great. I've only had like 1 or 2 like questionable peak characters come in, and when they do, I just ban. You know, I just take it as a case by case basis. Although they're not in chat regularly, I have 2 mods, so, and they usually keep an eye around and poke around, so I've got other people keeping an eye if needs be. I do need to get more mods. The problem is I can't pay them, which is why I don't like getting that many people. Alchemists are incredibly skilled. I don't make any money off this, so I honestly can't pay them. So it's only if they want to volunteer, and 2 did. So 2 people I trusted did. So it is. It is. So if you hear that cranking sound, that's me putting my blinds a little too, because the sun's just started beaming and I'm getting a bit blinded. Only 1 or 2 a year? Is it that rare? Have you tried to get certified, Lucia? You like qualifications, right? Yeah, we've talked about that guy before, one man, about that one guy's like obsessively determined to just be an annoyance, which is why your follower only chat is like a god's gift for you, that you can now just make it so you can never get in, because it's only like selected individuals. It's true, yes, there are lots of hurdles in the way. The exam venue is far away for a start, but you also need to collect references. References? References to what? References from certified alchemists, endorsements for taking the exam, basically. A god's gift, yeah. You need 3 of them to take the exam. Not easy in Adelit with so few alchemists around. My father told me that Mervale had a certified alchemist long ago, but they aren't here anymore. I've pretty much given up on being certified. I see. So our teacher and Furious have both passed this super hard exam? I'm even more impressed. Yeah, they passed it together. Hey! Girls, if you want your certified exam, get a ticket off Elmira, get a ticket off Furious. Sophie's probably going to show up at some point, get a ticket off Sophie, bada bing, bada boom, you've got your 3 certifications. God, that was an Atelier reference. Oh, There's that icebox we need to make, but before we make that, because that will cause time to advance, and I have failed a quest I've passed by letting time advance too much, let's go turn these in. And I also want to pass by the shop, and I don't know what I'll buy, but I need to burn 500 gold, so then we've maxed out the journal. Way sweet. Okay, so I check the journal, it's literally spend some money, make some shit, which we're going to do anyway. Let me rearrange my inventory, restack these. Actually, yeah, I'll put some ice bombs back on. I took them off because the only area we were going to for a while was the ice cave, which I do want to go back to at some point to kind of loot up a bit more, but for now I'll do this. What's God's gift? Yeah, I was doing that super boss in Sophie. Yeah, I can't... I can't wait to try to actually master and learn those super bosses going through the Atelier games as time goes on. I genuinely can't, but one thing at a time. What shop do I feel like pestering? Oh, let's go to the church. We'll see if my angel Pamela, literally because she's a ghost, is around. Almighty Lord, I give you thanks again today. Why the singing, Sister Grace? Something good happen? The church gathering was a great success. I'm still all excited about that, I suppose. I'm surprised. I know why Furious kind of got rid of it because it was less relevant, but I'm surprised this game didn't bring back the 5 days a week, actually having names and events, and actually going to church on the not Sundays and whatnot again. Because I thought that was a weird absence in Furious, considering they were leaning more onto the date, but at least I kind of got it. But I kind of understood why in Furious, because it's so much more ongoing. Also having to worry about what day in the week it was could have just made it more taxing than it needed to be. But it not being in this game as well is a bit like, oh. The trophy. So I can't wait. I want to try those super bosses. It's just not yet. So I'll go through them in my own time. When I eventually try those super bosses, I probably won't live stream them, but I might at least record them to chuck up on the channel. But as I said, that's a huge we'll see. Also, it depends what mood I'm in. Depends how the fight goes. If the fight ends in like 5 seconds because I like just spam god tier items and it's not interesting, then I won't keep the recording. But if it's like an interesting close fight that like jumps back and forth a whole bunch or whatnot, then absolutely I'll keep it because it'll be it'll be fun to watch back on. Hold on, it's over? Yes, a while ago. Sister Grace, that's not fair. You didn't invite us. That's right. We helped to get it ready and everything. I was looking forward to that. I need to get back to work. You can't run from this. You better get another one set up pronto. And this time we're getting an invitation. I understand. I'm truly sorry. Next time I'll make sure to let you know. I'm already making my plans. What's going to be next time? For that. Yeah, when it comes to well, it'll be easier in this game, but when it comes to the Mysterious Trilogy, my general mentality is before I do anything is grind the ever-living shit out of not just our level, but the alchemy level. And then try and make some really strong shit and just go exploring. And then once I've cleared out everything, explored everything, and got the best shit, then give my valiant effort on the super boss. And if I still get destroyed, take it from there. Pay attention to what I get destroyed by, how things need to be reworked, and just kind of build up from there. If that sort of thing. Just hit everything on a base level, then try the super boss, and then if or when I fail, then just kind of pay attention to what I did wrong. Which is how I defeat and beat super bosses in Shin Megami Tensei, and how I beat Demi-Fiend in Digital Devil Saga. Especially fucking Demi-Fiend in Digital Devil Saga, because fuck that fight. Whoever decided an over 1.5 hour long super boss that has an insta-kill attack that can only be avoided by forcing a status condition onto yourself before it happens needed to exist deserves to be shot. It's a great fight. It's a really difficult fight that challenges your reflexes. Well, it's a JRPG, so not reflexes, but challenges your strategizing at every single hurdle. But my god, is it exhausted when 45 minutes in, Demi-Fiend just rips out a Gaia Rage, and you just have to accept the 12,000 damage your whole party's taking because you didn't know it was coming yet. You forgot the timing of how many times in a row he does it, and you forgot to make sure that a member of your party was asleep, so the damage was nulled. Because being asleep makes you drain physical in that game, and it's the only way to survive it, because your health caps at 999, and the attack does 12,000 to your whole party. You literally cannot fucking survive the attack. And it was like, I love Digital Devil Saga, and I'd love people to try it out, but for the love of God, unless you're like a super diehard into JRPGs and love the idea of literally studying a fight like a textbook and spending a whole hour and a half on a fight, do not fight the super boss of DDS. Do not fight the super boss of DDS. It is not worth it. Especially because the fight has multiple phases, and each phases have radically different strategies you have to do to it. And one of those phases, if you mishandle it, the pixie that he summons will fully heal the actual boss, undoing 45 minutes worth of progress. And if that happens, just throw it in the drain, just quit. There's a reason why old Atlas games used to have a nickname called Atlas Hard. And it's because of things like Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne, because of Strange Journey on the DS, because of DDS. So it's a very hard mode. Yeah, I've heard things about Sophie 2's final boss. I've heard that Sophie 2 is actually surprisingly brutal at points. And it makes me more excited for it, if I'm honest. Because I beat that fight in DDS, and there's a reason why I did it. It's because I'm a sucker. I'm a fucking sadist, I suppose. Or masochist, which term's the correct one, for challenges in JRPGs. It's one of the only things I wasn't a big fan of in modern Persona games. That modern Persona I find way too easy. Because I'm so battle-hardened by brutal older RPGs that when I get to these new modern ones that are so much more forgiving, I'm just like, oh, okay. It's why Soul Hackers 2 is a breath of fresh air. The main content's not difficult, but all the side content kicks my ass. And I have to actually grind for it and pay attention. And I love that. Because it's something I have to figure out. I have to knuckle in and like study it. And I always feel like it's some kind of mastermind genius when I overcome those fights, because it wasn't just level difference, it was strategy, you know? Twins in P5? Yeah, I beat them first try. I beat them first try. They weren't a challenge to me. Everyone made me think they were going to be super hard in this grand return to form. Then I went in with Yoshitsune, power charged, Hasatobi, power charge, Hasatobi, healed, power charge, Hasatobi. The fight was over. Yoshitsune deletes the fight. It's piss easy. I beat them in under 10 turns. I beat them so quickly they didn't even go through all their phases. Because if you get it, you don't even need the attack boost. Power charge makes it so your next attack does 2.5 damage. Hasatobi's signature skill is Yoshitsune's signature skill is Hasatobi, which hits 8 times. The power charge counts for all 8 hits. So 2.5 times 8. And then just heal every other turn. You're fine. You win. And that's not even the easiest way to break that fight. You go in with Trumpeter, Debilitate stops them doing anything, because it lowers their attack, defense, and hit evasion. And then all you need is any kind of hit and evasion booster on yourself, and they are almost never hitting you, and on the odd occasion they do, they're doing less damage. And that's not even the only other strategy. Like, I could go on for hours talking about different personas that completely invalidate that fight. The twins are not difficult. And it doesn't also help that the twins are extremely patented. They will always go fire, ice, electric, wind. Light, dark. It's only if you don't advance the phase within, I think it's 6 turns per phase. If you don't advance the phase per 6 turns, they will then insta-kill you all by using a screen nuke. So even then, there's nothing stopping you if you don't have those powerful personas from just hard learning that pattern and just swapping out your persona every turn to fire, then ice, then electric, then wind, then light, then dark, then fire, then ice, then electric, then wind. And then at least Joker will not be harmed. If you want a hard super boss in Persona, Margaret in Persona 3. Because Margaret has a failsafe in her system, and that failsafe alone is what makes sure it remains hard. You know what that failsafe is? If you are too powerful or have too many resistances covered, she will say you're not playing fairly and will instant kill you at the start of the fight. You have to go in only having personas that have some kind of shortcoming or weakness. You're not allowed to brutalize her. If you try to, she'll say you're cheating and destroy you. Imagine the characters at 99V at the Reaper grind. Yeah, because you could glitch the Reaper by going in flu season and base P5. I think they patched that in Royal, which I think is a shame. Because Atlas hate fun, I guess. A puppet show. I'm going to use some handmade puppets to put on a performance. Oh, that sounds like fun. I say I think because, to be honest, even with like the PS5 version coming out soon of Royal, I have no immediate interest. Especially because even if I own the PS4 version because I got it on PS Plus for free. They have absolutely no upgrade paths whatsoever, which is just scummy to me. If you want Persona 5 Royal on PS5, you have to spend another £50/$60 for it, and I just don't agree with that. It's a director's cut version of a game that came out in September of 2016, because that's when it came out in Japan. Come on, why is it £50 again? You know? Even then, I still play on safe mode because even. Yeah, because I get that. I play every RPG by default on normal, just because then there's still some requirement to use the game's mechanics, which ultimately, at least to me, make the games more enjoyable. It's like we're going back to Ninja Wars earlier. If the game's too easy, you have no incentive to make the mechanics, so the game becomes more boring because you're not using the mechanics because the game doesn't require you to, so you don't think about it, so you don't use it. V5 and 7 remake was a trust my audience playthrough. Yeah, and it's a shame as well with remake because hard mode in 7 remake reinvents the game. Every single boss gains new skills and has their strategies and movesets altered to keep you guessing. So you have to use everything in the game more. Certain cheap weaknesses that you could exploit don't exist in hard mode because they're designed that way. So you get to almost re-experience and relearn every single boss in Remake, which helped me love the game even more. Whilst also, you know, being harder because it's hard mode. Spoil my fans when they request a game. I do too on one prerequisite, and it might sound stingy, but I have to draw a line somewhere. If the audience pay for it, I'll play it. If it's on the PlayStation 4 or 5 store, my Patreon literally has a Patreon that is a Patreon level, which I think is literally £50, the price of a AAA game. You donate to that, I'll play it. If you give me £50, say, can you play this? I'll spend that £50 on that game and try it. Bottom line. As long as it's on the PS4 or PS5 store, I will do it. And that's how I handle it. So I don't... It's not that I spoil them. It's like, look, if you pay it for me, sure. But I gotta make money somehow. I can't just be like, hey, you want me to play this game? Sure, I'll buy it, because I don't have the money to do so. Man just paid me $100 in PlayStation codes. Jesus Christ. Why don't I have fans like that? I'm kidding. I like the fans I have. I never expect anyone to pay me money or anything. I have my Patreon and Twitter links in my description of every video, but that's just there if people are interested, not because... not because I expect or demand or anything like that. It's just there if people want to support me, they're welcome to. I think my lowest donation is like $1. It's generally, I think I have a lot of different levels, and I have most of them just be like, look, if you basically just want to treat it like a tip pot, you can. I'm going to play the games, always such the Darksiders games. What did you think of Darksiders? Because I had very mixed feelings on those games when I played them. I liked the first one, I liked the second a little less, and I wasn't too keen on the third. I felt like each game just got a little bit more wonky, and a bit more misguided. Sister Grace, we'll help you again with whatever you need. Help you so much, you'll have to invite us. Same, yeah. You don't need to go that far, girls. I'm going to invite you this time, so don't worry. I was just kidding, we'll help you either way, don't worry. It must be hard getting all ready on your own. Just let us know what you need. Same, yeah, go. Is that the only thing for me? Like, I've heard good things of the spin-off, though. It's like, maybe at some point I'll try it, but it's just like after the third one, it wasn't that I thought the third one was straight up bad, I just thought it was worse than what had been given before. And so I was just a bit more like, nah, with it. I was just a bit more like turned off from the series. I felt like it was just still going on a downward spiral. I need to make the puppets. Cloth, what kind of cloth do you need? My least favourite? Oh really? Damn. I'm glad I haven't tried it then. Stand up, you're really eye-catching. Aside from that, I have no requests. Very well, just you wait and see, Sister Grace. We'll bring the best cloth we can find. Good, thank you. It brings the next church gathering one step closer. I just wanted to spy stuff at your shop, Pam. There, now I've spent enough money. Hey girls, I've got something I want to ask. Is there anything that I don't have in stock that you would like to see in the shop? Nothing really comes to mind. What about you, Sue? It's what I loved the character Dante the most. It came across as a MOBA or WoW gameplay. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm not a big fan of MOBAs, so yeah, that's I wish Dante and Death switched, but come to mind. What about you, Sue? No, nothing really. Mum's shop is pretty much everything we need. What was that? Mum's? Oh, I'm sorry, Pamela. Pamela's shop. Sue, you put your foot in your mouth this time. I can't believe I just said that. I can sort of understand why, though. Yeah, I'd probably call Pam Mum by accident as well, considering how loving and caring and gentle she is. Like to literally everyone. It's literally like that one teacher that's nice to you, that like that is a kid that accidentally calls mum or dad by accident eventually. You know? Like I can imagine like Pam would be an excellent mum. Shame she's a ghost. Pamela is so kind. She smells nice too. She's like a mum. Yeah, that's right. I've heard of Pamela being very mother-like for a while now. Oh my! That makes me very happy. Lydie, Sue, you can call me Mum as much as you like. Go ahead, give it a try. Call me Mum. Mum? Mum? Ah, that sounds better than I thought. I'm right here, girls. Yes, I quite like the sound of that. Maybe we'll call you Mum every now and then. Say Mummy, dearest. Can you give us a discount? Sue, you little... Not a chance. It's almost similar situations. Oh, we don't communicate is what we do. And he expresses hate for me. Oof. Oh, I'm sorry, dude. I count myself very lucky that I have an extremely strong relationship with my mum. So if she texts me for anything, I will like pause what I'm doing even on stream to respond to her, sort of thing. I am a proper mummy's boy, but we have a very strong relationship because she always lets me be who I am, she's the most supportive person of what I try and be. I know she's like my #1 fan, if that makes sense. And she's never hindered or restricted or whatnot. She's always tried to be understanding and caring when something different comes her way. I mean, she literally she teaches kids with special needs, so it's literally built in her to be extremely empathetic, I suppose. But you know what I mean? Like I cherish what I have, and I make the most of it, because my mum basically has to be, for a while before I got to know my stepdad a lot better, I had to basically act as both my parents because of how the nature of my relationship with my old man is. Well, she's the one person who went off the deep end more than I, to grief of our loss. Nah, I'm sorry, dude. I can only hope that somehow, and I know this is naive for me to say, but somehow at some point later down the road things get to change and you can try, if you so even want to, make things better. Get some high quality cloth. I mean, to make the Canarius icebox. Yeah, you said before you love Zato's theme. Hey girls, I just thought of another wonderful new idea. No thanks. You'll do it. Great, thanks. I knew you would. How many bullets do I have left? Because I only need one anyway. I'm sorry, I got carried away again. This really is a great idea. I guess we can at least hear you out. Thank you. Now then, have you ever heard of a tree that grows golden fruit? It's just an idiom, normally, but alchemy can make it real. Well, I've come up with a tree that blooms with coal every day. What? That sounds like a dream. Okay, we'll do it. Count us in, dearest Dad. My daughters, true to their greedy desires. I like it. It sounds a bit too good to be true. I can see this going really wrong. Memories part, but also like the edgy strain that starts with vanish into dark. Vanish into dark! Future, now, and past. Vanish into dark! That shit, yeah. I wish I could sing better. Prepare Kithis be used in the coal tree. Effect evaluation. Drown in pain, I lose my mind. No, it's not, I'll got a good in there. That's my personality in a single song. Fair, dude. I still stand by the fact that I think it's extremely unfair that in every single Guilty Gear, Kai gets an absolute banger. Like, why does he deserve to get like the second or third best song in every single Guilty Gear by far? Even in the Korean version of Guilty Gear. Like, why does fucking boring old Kai Kiske get such a banger theme in every game? It's not fair. There's a track that misses in Strive. Perfection can't please me. That's the only track I don't like in Strive. I'm not the biggest fan of I forget what it's called, May's theme, but I can understand why people like it. I'm like, yeah, okay, it's got a different vibe to it. I like the feeling of it. I like what it's trying to do. It's just not for me. It's not my style. But I can understand it, you know? I can understand why people like it. But Perfection can't please me. Every time I hear it, I just kind of like shiver. Because to me, it's just not my thing. And once again, I know it's just the whole, it's not, it's just different interests and whatnot, but it's just not my thing. But I love all the songs. I can't wait, because it's almost, I can almost guarantee the next DLC is dropping at the end of the month. So I can't say almost guarantee. I'm not that faithful in my beliefs. It's just, it feels like it's more likely to be this month than not. I really hope it's Slayer, because I can't wait to hear a new Slayer theme. I'd be happy with whoever. Like, I'm very much in Team ABBA. I'd love to see ABBA come back. But, like, man, Slayer already had, like, some of my favourite tracks in older Guilty Gear games. I want to hear it with vocals. Imagine a sax solo that then has vocals after it. Like, oh. Like intense tracks. Yeah, I tend to give that impression as well, but I like one of my favorite tracks in that list, Sophie, was Fluffy Prayer, for goodness sake. But for me, it's just that my favorite genre is rock orchestra, so I tend to lean towards it. If it can be loud but doesn't sound chaotic, and what I mean by that, I don't mean like some tracks are deliberately chaotic and they work for it. I mean as in, sometimes tracks get so loud, there's so many instruments involved, that it doesn't feel like there's a melody anymore. It just sounds like things are just going everywhere. Ooh, you like Godot's theme. Yeah, ooh. But it's like, I love Godot's theme. Have you heard the orchestral version of it? When they do like their live orchestra performance of it, they always do Godot's theme, and it's genuinely like the sexiest fucking track. It's so beautiful. But it's like, the good example is Final Fantasy 13 Freeze Final Bossing. I brought it up before. It's supposed to be chaotic, but in the first minute of the track, it leans into it too much, and it just sounds like an explosion of instruments, and it gets overwhelming, and I don't like it. But then afterwards, the chaos gets a bit more controlled, and it's still chaotic, but you can actually hear a melody, and I think it works better. Is there a Godot struggles? Yeah, that's fair. I just loved Godot as a character in the original trilogy. It was less resonate or less whatnot. I just really, really loved him as a character. I resonated in the regret, at least, in the regrets he had, but nothing more further than that. And in the live stream, when I was going through the first 3 games, when I was reading his, like, eulogy, so to speak, his final lines at the end of that 5th court case, I did choke up. You can hear it on the stream. You can hear me on the stream. I genuinely choke up trying to read his lines. Because of how much I felt the connection. I felt I resonated with what he was going through in that sense. Well, to be fair, I was also absolutely viciously destroying my voice because I wanted to give Godot a voice that I felt fitted the fact that he had suffered, that he'd gone through so much. And so it was a bit more grit to it. Like, it was deep and smooth, but with a grit undertone beyond that. I'll see you through, trite. Now give me my coffee. So doing that voice, and then having to give these emotional lines, or have him get loud, because like, near the end he starts shouting from time to time because of his emotions on full display, and having to keep that voice and push through. Like, it started to hammer my throat as well. Like, it's not okay after Acro's story. I felt for Acro so much, and I feel so bad that I didn't like the case. I think we said it before, like, I loved Acro's story, and I appreciated what he'd gone through, but the case of figuring that out wasn't fun. And that's the problem. Like, he is so bitter. It's so unfortunate that he tried to get revenge for such a genuine cause that happened to his family, for such a genuine reason of moral justice that just got overlooked in his eyes. And then he took out the one person who could agree with him by accident. And I was just like, fuck. Like, the one man who understood, the one man who actually gave a shit. I was just like, oh, that was so bitter. That was so, like, I felt for that man so much. It's just like, I just wish the case in itself and actual solving it was more interesting. It doesn't have to be fun because it was a miserable case. It was designed to be kind of sad. But man, the case was poorly handled to get to that point. Like, the things, the holes you have to jump through. I know it's not the only case to do this, and it's not even the worst offender. But the holes you have to, the leaps in logic you have to make, the holes you have to jump through to figure shit out, felt a little too much at times. And it was just like, you know, why did the man fly? Oh, you know, because the thing that got dropped on his head had to be carried up, and somehow perfectly, when he got hit, the cape flew off and landed on it perfectly on its shoulders. What? But I did like the twist of their murder weapon was literally hidden in the wheelchair. And that's why they could never find it. That was clever. Anyway, hey Sue, can you give me that material from over there? Sure, hold on. Come on, how long is he going to carry on for? Stop messing around. None of that changes the fact I'm scared. Ow, sis, come on, you're going to rip something off. What's going on out there? Is that Miriel and Matthias? Uh-oh. We're coming in, twins. Hi! Oh, hello. What's going on out there? Sounds like quite a frenzy. Frenzy! Oh, you heard that. We want you to defeat some monsters for us. Some monsters? Sure, this is a bit sudden. He received a report of monsters nearby. He was going to send Matthias, but he has an intent of running away from the task. Come on, it's scary. Who knows what monsters are out there? Like how any regular people go there, the monsters would just go off again, surely. See? This is what I'm dealing with, so we need you to step up. I see. I think we understand. Come on, Matthias, why don't you come with us? We'll show you how cool you can be. We'll stop calling you King of the Wastrels. Okay, I'm in. Let's go right away. Come on, both of you. He hates being called King of the Wastrels that much? I feel a little bad about all this. I'm glad to see him a little invested, girls. Keep an eye on him out there. Yeah, we will. I also need to go explore that new area still. I haven't done that yet. How many ice bombs I made? 2. So I need to make 2 more. And then I can make the thing for Corey. I mean, we're gonna give these away, so it doesn't really matter. Or fuse these away, even. Alright, 1 more. There it is. I was like, where? God damn, I have that many gravistones? How many toner crystals do I have? No, I'll use a gravistone. Okay, this doesn't matter. I can't stress enough how much I love that this game has full rotate right off the bat. I can't stress how much, like, I can't go back to not having rotate. That was like the biggest thing I was dreading when I was going into this game. Is I was like, oh, am I gonna have to go back to not being able to rotate anything again? Oh, jeez. Alright, we made it. What else can we make while we're at it? It's liquid gold. Nice. I need to go get some golden rocks. I think they're in that dream world. Anything else I can make? Actually, I wanted high quality cloth, so let's see if we can make that. Is it a specific, hang on, let me check. Is it a specific title, high quality? Or is it just good quality? Just some high quality cloth. Okay, so let's just make some quality cloth as best as we can and see if it fulfills. I don't want to use that big scale yet. Let's chuck that there. I have no real place for you, yellow. Is that enough to please? No, it needs to be higher quality, I think. I suppose we could just check. Oh, thank goodness it does count good. Hey, here you go. Sister Grace, we got the cloth here for you to make the puppets. Oh, thank you. Ah, it's just as high quality as your paper. Wonderful. I'll be able to make some wonderful puppets with this. Can I ask something? Can you even sew? Well, I have some confidence in my needlework, yes. Maybe I could sew your mouth shut. I was just wondering, sorry. Anyway, look forward to the show, girls. I have some experience with puppetry. You will see some wonderful puppets and a wonderful story. I can promise you an experience like no other performer can provide. Alright. Just make sure you invite us this time. That's right, you better not forget again. Never again. You're really not going to forgive me for that, are you? Don't worry, just be a little more patient. Right, what was it you needed again? Look how much more wood I have. I was like, okay, we can just scan that in. There you go. Sure this is it? Yes, have it. Great work. Now announce results from me, your dear old dad. Incredible, girls. You stirred up my creative soul. Alright, let's see how this goes wrong. You've done it. It's divine. This is a gold tree that blooms with coal. Something's wrong with my mouth. So you're slobbering everywhere. Sorry, I just lost every sensibility faced with this marvel. I was thinking a debt collector to kick the door in, or like a tax of collector to pop up and be like, oh, I'm taking that. Starting to bloom. They're incredible. We'll be rich in no time like this. You're right, this is a fantastic invention. What did I say? My idea was perfect. What's the catch? Tell me, do we need to water this tree? Nope, no water needed. It uses a very special fertilizer, gold. Excuse me? The tree doesn't drink water, it only drinks liquid gold. Around 100,000 coals worth a day. What? I will never pay. 100,000 coal? That puts us completely in the red, no matter how you think about it. That's a good point. Another screw up. I can't even get angry, Dad. Go and dump this tree somewhere. The tree with our drink will drink all our cash. This is literally the last thing we need around here. Huh? You can't throw it away. This is a tree. Struggling for life, huh? Something burning. Oh my. Burn it in the fire. If you have to hate someone over this tree, then hate our dad. Lydie! Hey! What are you doing? Stop it! Hey! Stop it! Hey! Alright, I got 3,000 coal out of it. I'll take it for what it is. Even if Roger is a moron. Anyway, let's let these poor girls rest tonight. I'll rest for a couple hours. Whoops. Go give the thing to Corey. I still need to go. There's so many other events I need to go check. It's turning into Atelier Sophie again, or Blue Reflection Second Light, where I end up spending like an hour of the stream just talking to everyone. Here you are, my lovely. I know Corey's in like high heels, but I think she actually stands taller than the twins, which is baffling because she was so tiny in Sophie. Oh, it's cold. I could even carry raw meat around using this. That's great. Now we'll all get cakes. I do have to thank you somehow, don't I? What would be a fitting reward? You don't have to do anything special, please. We don't need anything. Trust is an important part of my business. I need to thank you somehow. I know what to do. I'll start my volume retail service. Volume retail? What's that? Here's the thing. I have a unique ability, Sue. Will you lend me an item for a moment? Are we getting our duplication service back finally? Sure, what about this? Actually, she might duplicate items, but I don't know if she's going to open up the bomb fee yet. Because that was how it worked in Sophie. She started duping items you wanted first, and it was later on. Thank you. Yeah, Tia. There. What do you think? What's it multiplied? Are you some kind of magician? No, this is my power. I have the ability to copy objects. I just want to fucking go up there and squish her cheeks. Come on, I missed you, Corey. Copy objects? I can't believe it. How is such a thing even possible? It's a very rare power. Apparently it made me very popular. I bet being able to copy items out of thin air like that, that's almost too convenient. Very well, Canaria. Can we ask you to provide us with that volume retail too? Yes, of course. I give your requests priority, so feel free to pile them on me, no problem. Does she still shrink when she has too much? At Core's shop, you can have items copied. Oh. You know what this tutorial's just told me? We have an infinite money grind without having to leave. Because we can have her duplicate our healing pads and then get 5,000 coal when we give them in for the DLC quest. We have an infinite money loop. Well, it won't be infinite because I imagine she only duplicates so much per day, but still. There's a money loop there. Because you'll still be getting a net positive. Right, what do I want duped? What is very important? You, because we don't have any more of those heroic statues. Am I really that low on lever and tannin fluid? What's the limit? I'm expecting her to eventually just go, stop it, that's enough. She's gonna get angry, but like, you're gonna dwarven me, stop it. Oh, and a jet as well, are you insane? And then, yep, there they are. Oh, you sell ice bombs. SS and expand effect area. Okay, so not the best in the world, but still good. Ooh. Attack down. Ah, fine. I need to get more equipment anyway. I'll buy it. Yeah, just put the speed boost on the speed demon. And I'll give the other one the Ferris for now. If we're not using Lydie in battle right now, her equipment should go to other people, so it just makes sense. We've still got so many... We're detouring. I need to go. I need to stretch my legs. He wants to go there. I want to go explore this area because I haven't yet. I need to go stretch my legs. Ooh, I like the drum beat. Marble salt, okay. Oh, I like this drum beat. I'm waiting for something to kick in though. Oh, lightning bombs. Who, where? Oh, we can make lightning bombs. Oh, we can make lightning bombs. It was worth it. It immediately made this trip worth it. What level are these guys? 20. 24, damn. They're weak to ice though, so... Which makes sense, you just did the ice dungeon, so you've got a lot of resources for ice bombs, so make the next area you're probably going to go to weak to ice, so you have merit to use it. Oh, whoops. Where's large the enemy? Uh-oh. That sounds terrifying. Okay, that wasn't too bad. God damn, we're getting lots of these. We're definitely going to stock up on Thunder Bombs when we go back. Ooh, some more cotton as well. I need to try and get a gold rock as well, but the only one I remember picking up was in the ice painting. So I do plan to go back there eventually anyway. Wow, there really isn't much to this track, is there? It's a nice melody, at least. Oh my god, it's the Turtle Boys. Oh, I didn't even spot that one on the back right. You know what, Fierce, even if they are resistant to it, just because it hits both, go for it. There we go. Don't mind me, enemies, just, you know, seeing what I can pick. Oh, there's a gold rock. We need it for the recipe, so we don't need to go back to the Ice Kingdom. I kind of want to anyway. Ooh, mining bombs. Okay. We're starting to get somewhere. We're starting to see a few familiars. I think this area is 2 zones. I just want to quickly go check. I appreciate this game tells you how many zones are in an area ahead of time, because that was like the biggest thing I had to keep on remembering with Sophie, that some areas, you know, had a little extra cave hidden in it or something. And so of course in Furious it didn't matter so much because of how open-ended it was. Oh, this area is actually kind of big. Holy shit. What are they protecting? Doesn't even look like there's a chest down there, just ore. Funnily enough, we don't need any Kiffer, so... Sorry, it looked human enough. I was like, yeah, it almost looks like a person. So easily distracted sometimes. I'm guessing this leaves the map, or is there a third area? Okay, that leaves the map, okay. I think... Oh, there is a water point over there, so I think that's pretty much it for exploring here, though. It's just a new grind area. It genuinely reminds me of an area from Atelier Sophie, where it's just a new spot to pick up resources. nectar spring waters here. We do need some of that. So I don't think I have much. One more batch and then we'll get out of here. Nice, and it was a batch of 2 as well. Perfect. Alright. So let's go turn this stuff in first and then we will go help. We got mining bombs, lightning bombs. What do we need? Oh geez, okay, Sun, Moon, and Saturn. Oh, I was like, that nearly had it. That broken rock could have been it. It's Saturn. Oh no, Jupiter, sorry. I knew what I meant. Oh, hang on. Look at these. These ones are way better, some of these. Let me get that. Take that one with me. I'll get the components more than anything. Make another one. Apply curse? Damn, okay. You sold me. No, no, no. How to see that is. Oh. Hello, Lydie, Sue. The head sister is calling for you. I know what that means. Time for the church gathering. See this puppet show from Grace, definitely not related to the other Weisbergs. Because I think they've already said that she's a Weisberg, but still. There are lots of people here. Hey, Sister Grace, it's about to start. This is exciting. All of you good little boys and girls, hello. Hello. Eh? You seem really happy. I'm happy too, kids. What have I got to show you today? This. It's a play by me. And me. I hope to enjoy every last second of it. Sister, what is going on here? Let's do this. Carefree Palu and easygoing Palu. Oh, the puppet show is that the reason why they weren't invited is because it was for bigger kids. It was for littler kids, sorry. They're too big of kids. The puppets were so funny. Yeah, I want to see it again. Palu, I'm so happy Palu finally saw your point of view. Me too. That was great, really moving. So you enjoyed themselves? Sister Grace, that was amazing. Palu is my new hero. I can't stop crying. And I guess they're not that big. Like I told you, my puppet shows are something special. You're right. It's totally different from anything I've seen before. The show, and you too. Did you get a personality transplant or something? You were charged with energy. That reminds me, I need to go and tidy up. Can't run from that line of questioning. We'll get to the bottom of this. Very well. I actually love puppets and puppet shows. I have lots of them in my room that I've made. I just wanted to, I was just so happy to put on that show. That your emotions got the best of you. I see. Yeah, we need to introduce you to the rest of your fucking family. Fritz and Dross are around. I'm embarrassed about it. It feels my face on fire. Don't worry about it. You're lovely, Sister Grace. That's right. The show is a big success too. I look forward to the next one already. I'll give it some thought. Thank you for coming today anyway. And we just put back at the atelier now. Okay. What does Elmira want? Hang on. What's our to-do list? Oh, help out the thing. And the thing that we're working on slowly throughout the course of the game anyway. And the ambition zone is now absolutely done. Good. So we don't have to worry about that either. Be patient, you'll get there. Yeah. Speaking of, let's actually go past the Weisbergs. Mr. Fritz, Drossel, we're coming in. Hey girls, great timing. We didn't get to show you yet, did we? But now we're ready. Time to put on a show. Really? Yes, we want to see it. Go ahead. Good, good. Time to raise the curtain, Drossel. You said it. Time to prove what we can do, Dad. What about you, little Plutchter? Your eyes are sparkling again today. Excuse me? What about you, Fritz? You're looking just dandy. Can I get a kiss? Sorry, what? What are you two gotten into all of a sudden? They've become different people. No, we haven't. That's not what's happening here. That's right, nothing odd here. Now open your eyes wide and watch closely. It's a much better version of Harley. Yeah, I can see it. I really can. This is our heartfelt puppet show. You'll live happily ever after at the end of our show. What did you two think? It was great fun. I'm still so excited. Me too. It was much more thrilling than I expected. Good, good. They liked it, Dad. Yeah. Or another show anytime you want to see one. Come again anytime. We will. Thank you so much. Was that fun? Wasn't it, Sue? The two of them are a bit odd though, aren't they? Sorry, that first sentence read weird to me. That's a yes on both counts. Nice people though. Let's go around and see another show soon. The Gates and Fierce? I mean, I'll happily go pester Fierce again. Oh, okay. Fierce, I'm coming in. God, it really is starting to remind me of Atelier Fierce now. People randomly fucking waltzing into her Atelier. Oh, Lucia, welcome. What can I help you with today? Well, can't say this too loudly, but I want you to teach me some alchemy. I hate to admit it, but you're better than me. I'd very much like to learn from you. Why do you hate to admit that? Lucia, why do you hate to admit that? You're asking a licensed alchemist for advice. Of course she's gonna be more experienced than you. Sure, no problem. Not sure what I can teach you though. I was just about to do some synthesis, so maybe watch me do that? Him or Leonie. Yeah, if it's something at the gates, it's probably Leonie. First, or this, she could show up in this, we don't know. First, you throw in the materials with a splash. Yeah, of course she does it that way. Next, you throw the temper of the cauldron, see it raw, then mix it up and mix, mix, mix. Splash, raw, mix, mix, mix. Are you joking? Then wait for it to cool down and we're done. Hold on, you're finished already? And it's absolutely incredible. Just prideful, you know that. Yeah. But it's weird, like, she has prideful moments, but then there's also a lot of moments where it's almost like, it's not, I don't want to say it's a facade, because it's definitely a part of her, but there's a piece of it that's a facade, because deep down she's actually a bit of a fucking sweetheart that just wants to help and care for people. No, not at all. I didn't have a clue what you were doing. What? Oh, I'm sorry. I know how to do it, but I'm not good at teaching it. I think I need to stop relying on others and master my own alchemy, don't I? Hello, Furious. Because I can't get over how much I love Furious's nude look and how much she's grown up. But equally, it's going to make it more prominent when Sophie shows up and probably looks exactly the fucking same again. When she doesn't age today. Leonie, I can't accept this. It's fine, go ahead. Hello, both of you. What are you doing? I was just giving Furious her allowance. And I was just turning it down. I'm not a child anymore. Leonie was trying to give me almost all of her earnings. You worked so hard to earn it all. You should use it for yourself. Seems you have the wrong idea. I am using this exactly for what I want. Giving it to you, Furious, that's all. She just won't listen. You really do love Furious, don't you, Leonie? Of course I do! I can't live without her. Can't wait to see her in the morning. I can eat lunch while thinking all about her. In the evening, I think about her some more. Even when I dream, it's all about her. Loving Furious, that is my life. That is my everything. Come on, cut it out. Everyone is looking. I like how, as Furious has got older, she's got more intolerant to Leonie's antics. Like when she was when Furious was a teenager, she'd get annoyed by it sometimes, but she just kind of went, I still want you everywhere with me. Whilst now, Furious is kind of like, Leonie, please give it a fucking rest. Well, I say that. The fact that Furious is specifically saying everyone is looking makes me think that in private, Furious doesn't mind. She doesn't mind being pampered and spoiled, but in public, she's a bit like, she wants Leonie to rein it in a little bit. Let them look. They mean nothing in the face of my love for you. I don't want to do this, but be quiet or I won't talk to you again today. Wow, shit. Leonie, you're so easy. You two are very close, aren't you? Yes, she has her quirks, but I love Leonie too. Furious, I'm so happy, Furious. Then there we go again. That's it for today, Leonie. Sorry. Oh, wait. I won't survive. Wait. Two of them are so close. We can't lose to them, can we? It's not a competition to love your sibling. Jesus Christ. Right. There's a part of me that's kind of sad that Leonie's effectively been demoted to a side character of a shop. When she was like my MVP in Furious. Because she was just such a helpful, consistent damage dealer. If she wasn't the best, but she was consistent, and that's what made her stand. What the heck? Granite, Joel, Soupy Revel. This shit's expensive, lady. I'll buy it, but not happily. And of course she sells cookies. I can do quest grinding. I mean, Furious, that one was on Lydie Suelle. Yeah, you can't... I think Furious, I think that was just her trying to almost make a point a little bit that she does kind of... She gets away with shit. Oh, there's still more things in Furious in the game. Okay, let's see what happens. Hey girls, can you tell me somewhere fun that's close to Mervale? Somewhere fun? What exactly do you want to do? Travel? Just travel. My hobby is to visit all kinds of different places. Travel? In which case, there's a few good places. Come on, Furious, what did you expect when they talked about closeness? Exactly. Interesting. You're stirring up my curiosity now. And I think also to an extent it's just her teasing Leonie. I doubt she actually held it against her or anything. It's just so getting her own back on her sis. Can't wait, but I've got jobs to finish first. Furious, you really do love travelling. Of course, seeing the whole wide world has always been my dream. My home was a pretty unique place. I couldn't even leave it until I was around the age you are now. Not once? Yep, I wanted to, but I couldn't. When I finally did, it was so much better than I imagined. The wide sky, the soothing wind, the relaxing smell of grass, and the land as far as I could see. I just loved being outside, you know? And that love has never left me. I see. So come on, Fierce, will you tell us more about your travels? Yeah, it turns out I'll have a lovey-dovey couple. But that's just because you ship them. They are cute together, but nah, adopt into the family's enough. Good idea. We never travelled ourselves, but we always wanted to. Leave it to me then. I'll talk until you're sick of hearing my voice. Where to start? Then, the thing about the outside world, we never get sick of hearing your voice, Furus. There's more to do in Furus? What does Furus want to talk about so much? What's going on outside? Wow, the ultimate beauty. Hey, hello there. Careful, you mean me? Yes, you're incredibly beautiful. Your long and sparkling hair is like a river of stars. Damn, that's actually kind of smooth, I'll give you that one. Oh my, how lovely. I'm sorry, but I already have someone whom I love very much. You do? Then what cursed trick of fate is this? If only we had met just a little bit sooner. Who is it then? Tell me the name of this fiend who stole your heart. No problem, it's my sister. Wham wham. Hold on. Your sister? Yes, she's as cute as can be. She feels as good to hug, and she smells so nice. Also, I kind of don't like... I say don't like, that's a bit harsh. I'm kind of mixed feelings on how they've kind of downgraded Leonie's personality. I mean, to just the I love Furus complex that she has going on. The sister complex thing she has going on. Because she wanted, you know, to discover her original family. To discover what happened to them, to get revenge for them. There was, you know, there was motive and reason, and all that stuff originally. It was always there. Whilst in this game, it's like, well, her story's done, so let's just lean into the Furus obsession thing. Yes, well, conversing about a cis complex. Oh, absolutely. She was good. Nice. She's so naive and innocent, but recently she's been trying to look more mature, which was even cuter, you know. I just want to protect her from the entire world. Talking about us, maybe you want to see her again. Oh, Furus, I'm coming. I finally understand. That's the sister of Furus, who I've heard so much about. She's just as passionate. Like big sister, like little sister, I guess. There's more in the garden, Jesus Christ. We're going to be alternating these two rooms for a minute, I guess. What are you talking about? That was just you. Not at all. Your teeth was chattering out of your head. Myra. Oh, of course, you're friends, aren't you? Mere friendships can't define our bond. We're both best friends and eternal rivals. Enough with the corny lines, although I'm not denying it. You're not? If I resist, she gets all annoying. I've known her for a long time, so I understand her well. So you are good friends in the end? Fated ones, perhaps. Hey, that reminds me. I do have one bone to pick with you. I think I know what you're going to say. I bet you do. Why are you so... I knew it! I knew the height difference was going to bother her eventually. Excuse me? No, I won't. You've gotten taller and... oh fuck, bigger too. I'd like a bit of that myself. She's like, you're taller? You've got boobs? What? That's not fair, Furus. How did you surpass me in both fields? Oh dear, well, it's hard not to notice the difference. Oh wow, that was such a forced laugh out of Furus. That's not at all. You've grown up plenty, El. I don't need your pity. I'm leaving. Bye. Also, the height level where Elmira was staring. She just stormed off. Are you alright with this, Furus? Yeah, why not? It's pretty much how things always go down. I do wonder though, Il, have you really forgiven me? Yeah, the fact that Leonie sees it as perfectly normal to obsess about Fierce that much, that openly, is kind of... It's both funny and charming, but at the same time concerning. Like, I'm glad Fierce is okay with it ultimately. At least that's the impression I get. Because if she wasn't, that would very quickly step into like real creepy territory. Oh, hey girls, perfect timing. Hello, Fierce. Perfect for what? I just bumped into someone really funny and I gotta tell you about it. This guy, right? He had a puny in his basket. When I asked him why... Like, this Elmira, it's just difficult, like, which ship. Like, for me, if I had to pick one, I'd probably lean more on Fierce Elmira. Just because of the whole friendship rivalry. Like, you can see a good relationship being of that because they're always still trying to be the best versions of themselves as that rivalry. So it would keep the relationship healthy. But equally, Elmira's got to get past the fact that Fierce is now the tall one. In more than one way. And until she can, that's not going to happen. Whilst the Leonie ship, like, for me, like, every sibling in my family are technically like half siblings, so that would go as far as like adoptive as well, and so I just struggle to see it that way. I just see them as extremely close siblings. If the game, like, if there was like a Fierce 2 and a Fierce 2 established that, like, if for whatever reason it went beyond sisterhood and they ended up like not, then I would just take it for what it is. I'd be like, alright, sure, whatever. But I wouldn't be like, I wouldn't oppose it or be against it or anything like that. I'd just be like, yeah, sure, whatever, it is what it is. But equally, if they never did, I'd be equally as okay with it, you know? Or if she ended up with Elmira. Assuming they even go that road. He's got a puny in his basket. When I ask him why... Fierce? Yeah? Boo! Surprised you. Another successful prank. Are you alright, Fierce? That was quite the scream. I'm okay. I mean, I'm not, but I am. It just brought back some old memories. Oh, you're she's scared of ghosts. Like what? Fierce and I have been friends for a long time. This is the first time Pamela surprised me. She also gave me a heart attack before. So you've come to Mervale too, Pamela? Are you going to be opening a shop again? You're like, Fierce has grown up so much, she's almost as tall as Pam. That's what, like she's grown so much. I'm almost proud of her. Are you opening a shop again? Yes, that's right. I'm going to be a nun at the church as well. A nun? You really are a nun, Pamela. You really can't tell? Well, no matter. I've got a great lineup, just like before. Come and shop any time, Fierce. I will. I'm looking forward to it. Great. See you again soon. She hasn't changed at all. I'm glad you met your friend. Hey, hold on. What about the puny in the basket? Oh, that I'd completely forgotten. Oh, no way. It's about being left in suspense. Is there any more down here? We're done. Okay. Professor Elmira. Puny. What's the matter, Punyo? Are you hungry? I suppose you must be. I'm in a good mood today, so I'll make you something extra delicious. It'll be worth the wait. Puny. My word. Don't you see that, my dear? Our beloved teacher Elmira has a mild, sweet smile. I did indeed see that. She really does love that puny. Hey, you two! What are you doing in my room again? You don't live here. Sorry, we just wanted to have some tea with our teacher. And we happened to come across such a fascinating scene. Oh, don't you mock me. Don't make fun of me like that. We would never make fun of you. It's completely normal to care for your pets. Exactly. Besides, when you're so head over heels for your puny, you act like such a classical Elmira-like way. What's that supposed to mean? You are making fun of me after all. But Elmira, what was it that made you decide to keep a pet in the first place? Oh yes, all of a sudden you just seem to have one. What's happened? I was lonely. Huh? I was lonely, alright. Coming back to an empty atelier every night. That's why I wanted a puny to be here and wait for me at the very least. There's something wrong with that. Oh,
Elmira, please feel free to come and visit us anytime you like. We'll have a warm meal waiting for you. That's right, come every day. In fact, why not come and live with us? Feel free to rely on us whenever you need us. After all, we're your loyal students. Yes, come here, beloved teacher, and give us a hug. I don't need your pity. Don't patronize me. I should never have said anything.
I don't think they were patronizing you. I think they genuinely just went like head over heels for a moment.
So my heart can only take so much. Yeah, exactly. Beauty.
I think that's the thing I love most about Lydie and Suelle, is that Suelle is stupendously cheeky, but whilst Lydie is a lot more naive and soft-hearted. But the moment one of them starts a joke, the other jumps completely in. Like the other's like 110% like in it immediately. They don't need any kind of setup, any kind of warning. One of them makes a slight hint at a joke, the other's like fucking got it. Like they're so in sync with each other, and it just makes them so fun. Right, let's go do this fucking thing. See what his oh so dangerous monster is. I want to stop being called the king of the wastrels, but I have to fight monsters. What's going on here? You fought with us against monsters lots of times, and I hate it. I'd like to admit this, but I'm not all that brave. If possible, I never want to fight another monster again. You don't? Even though you protected us from them all those times? Help me! Oh my god. It's so nice. Hey, someone is being attacked. We need to move quickly. Come on, girls, let's go. See, Matthias, I think, is braver than he tells himself he is. He never likes to put himself in the danger, but the moment there is danger, he dives in head first without thinking. He's braver than he thinks he is. Either that or his sense of duty overweighs enough. And that's ignoring the fact that his defense stat is still really good. Right, how do these guys... Okay, they are okay with range. I haven't actually checked. Does this do what Thousand Arrows did? No, it doesn't. So it's only an aesthetic. So you mean about it? Yeah, I am coming around. He still needs to learn how to speak to women properly for the most part, but he's getting there. His outer shell is exceedingly deceiving. Yeah, I like what they're going for. He just needs to like tone his attitude back a little bit in some places. I don't mind keeping him around the party. He's genuinely becoming the Julio of this game for me, in terms of he's just really helpful to have as a brick wall while stitching out good damage. And it's funny because he literally has his moveset, or at least very similar to his moveset. I think the only thing I have mixed feelings on with the gameplay formula right now is, honestly, only having 3 party members on the front line instead of 4. I get why, because they've got the whole assist system and backup, so you technically, when we get full party, we'll have 6. It's just 3 on the front line, 3 in reserve, so it'll be more. But the actual, like, in battle, thinking about what to do, only being 3, I've just got to adjust. It's exactly the same as when I went from, like, Final Fantasy 6 to 7, and you go from 4 party members to 3 in that game. Ow! Oh! It auto swaps when someone falls down, so you literally do have a party of 6, technically. That's interesting to know. Thank you very much, you saved me. No problem. I recommend you don't come back here alone. Yeah, at least no one was hurt. Matthias, that was so cool. Yes, you rushed straight in there. It was actually quite thrilling. Come on, stop picking on me. We're not. You did look really cool. I'm a knight after all. I can't just stand there when someone is in danger. I'm exhausted. That was scary too. I'm off to bed. And there he goes. I guess being praised by us is embarrassing. Yeah, you were just telling the truth. I know. In any case, it's time to retire the king of the wastrels. This style system can be abused to stonewall tough enemies. Yeah, that's what I've already kind of noticed, though. Don't worry. It's not a criticism per se. It's just an adjustment. Nothing was ever as hard an adjustment than my first Final Fantasy being Final Fantasy IV, and then playing any other game in the series. Final Fantasy IV is the only Final Fantasy game to have an active party of 5. And once you're used to that, like especially if it was my first one, playing any other where like the usual rule up into the PS1 trilogy was 4. That was an adjustment. Having so many options and so many characters on the field, and then suddenly no 4, I was like, oh. Oh right, we need to actually read those books. Well, Lydie will. Okay, it's gonna do this for a hot minute. But at least we can make a bunch of raw materials. And almost all of them require magnet stones. Fantastic. Well, there's that mining bomb. I was wondering where that is. Oh, you have to use a gold rock for it? Please may I have some greens. Literally anywhere. Oh, hang on. Where's a good moon boost? Yeah, +4 moon, we'll do that. Oh, which one was it that had the green? Actually, you have 2 green bonuses, I should re-pick you up. I'll do that. It's still not going to be enough. Yeah, just short. It's worth the same as that. I'm supposed to see if I can have any more greens. Can I just barely nudge that up to where I need it to be? I need 4 greens. Oh, ask and I shall receive. Oh, for goodness sake. There we are. Maybe a free green with this. Oh, that's another 2. I was like, oh, no, never mind. Yes, that's gonna be +1 point short. Ugh. Do I really not have any other free greens? That's all I need. I need 1 more fucking point in green. I can do it. Here we go. My body's holding it poorly. Yeah, no worries, dude. You rest up. Thanks for hopping in. Damn it, I think we are going to be a point short. That's so gutting. Yeah, I should try that. Make a better neutralizer. Or at least try to. Moon. I can't remember what that symbol is, and Mercury. Moon, Mercury, and Sun. -4 Sun? Oh no, I'm good. Especially it's right in the middle. Actually, I'll try it, because I'll see if I can go around. Jesus. No. That'd be such a waste of a Dunkel height. It'd be such a fucking waste. Hang on, what's change marks to for it? Oh, makes the moon -4. Oh, no, I'm good. Oh, it's still the same. I need to get a proper bonus on it. If we go all in on green and try and boost that and just do it one piece at a time and see where we end up. Jade power, let's see if that makes it better. The sun and moon. Oh, it's way down here. Hang on. Aha, Jade Power, yes. Now we got it. Actually, let's get rid of the problems first. That's not even the thing we used, God! God dang it! We need to be able to make it bump up one more level than that. Well, we only need to care about Moon. Hang on, I completely forgot. Because the sun doesn't matter. I can go back to the top and work my way down. Effect level max and Moon. Effect level max and Moon. So that one. The only reason why I want to do this is because I eventually plan to duplicate it, so we can always have it. So if I can just make it best quality now, it's not something to worry about later. Gets in cracks. Okay, so we'll get extra out of it. So will anything bump up its rating from D to C? There we go. Nice, and we'll have Corey dupe that. If she'll have it. She better. I'm glad I get to say that again though, that we'll have Corey dupe it, because like we went so long without being able to have her help us. It was so painful going through the whole of Furious without just being able to pick an item we weren't duped. At least we managed to get it, so we got that stuff back, but you know what I mean. Start making a lot of stuff. Right.
So, did you hear anything? No, not a thing. There. What was that sound? The wind? No, it can't be the wind. Sounds more like a ghost. I've been doing so well not thinking about ghosts. Not in the city, surely.
Oh, I thought it was you two. What are you doing shutting out here?
Ah, Mr. Fritz, a ghost. There's a ghost somewhere around here.
A ghost? Oh dear, have I done it again?
Excuse me? What? You're a ghost, Mr. Fritz.
Well, yes. Well, I'm not actually a ghost, but the voice you heard was definitely me. When making a doll, I have these sounds I make. Can't help it, sorry.
Huh? You look so cool when you stay silent, Mr. Fritz, but then you started talking about dolls. I know, right? Drossel changes in the same way.
That's right. We simply love dolls, that's all.
Oh no, looks like we switched him over again.
We travel around because we want to make puppets and perform the ultimate puppet show. Our dream is to move the hearts of all and spread wide the wonder of puppet theatre. The only way we can do that is our love of puppets.
Wow, I hope your dream will come true.
Oh, sorry, I'm doing it again.
Don't worry about us, we're getting used to it now.
I've been given a cold shoulder already. Need to do something about this habit. What did I say? Exchange what you currently have. Yeah, no worries. Does she not take the mining bomb? All that work. She doesn't take the mining bomb. Does she actually not? What? Oh. That's cruel. All that work. I was like, I need to say I don't have to worry about it again. It just made so much sense. Like, come on, it should just be here. That's the... I disagree. What's on the notice board? Oh, jeez. This is a duo. This is a dream come true. Can't believe I got to meet the Drossel. I have a copy of your book, Created Eyes. Could you please sign it for me? Yes, of course, like this. That's lovely. I'll treasure this forever. Thank you so much, Drossel. Lucia seemed really excited. What was that all about? Oh, you saw that? Yeah, we did. You signed something for her. Have you published a book, Drossel? Did you say that you write things right? Sorry, girls. Give me some room. I'm not used to all this attention. But yes, I did have a book published a while back. It's called Created Eyes. It was pretty well received, so sometimes I get fans coming up to me like that. Wow, really? What kind of book is it? Ready for this? A romance about puppets in a puppet shop. Forbidden love between puppets from rival shops is the best part, I think. Haha. You certainly have a theme, don't you? Right, Lydie? Well, how lovely, Drossel. I want to read that book myself. Really? Of course, I'll give you a copy. Great. Yatta! Thank you. I'll read it as soon as I get home. It's no good. She's got the bug already. These bookworms. I don't know what to do with them. Alright, although I'm wondering about it myself now. Or have Lydie tell me about it later. While they're here, is there anything we can quickly turn in? Not having to go anywhere. Oh, close. Nope, and it's just the usual two for them. Why is there stuff everywhere? Well, there's even more in the garden. I want to clear all these up. We're clearly not going to be going into the new painting today. Or taking on the new exam. We're just kind of doing cleanup and spinning around town. But that's fine. It does remind me of a Blue Reflection stream. And how much I really got into the habit of doing that every now and then. So I will do the last of these and then probably wrap up. My lungs are burning. Hey, Matthias, you look pretty exhausted. Yes, just going through a few things with my superiors. Superiors? You mean in the Knights? Yes, the captain and vice captain. Wow, the top brass. I'm impressed that you get to be trained by them. I'm royalty after all. But they certainly don't hold back. The captain teaches me the sword, but he's strict as you can imagine. A single mistake and he hits me with everything he's got. The vice captain seems charming enough, but she's incredibly strong. She hammers me like an anvil every training session. It's tough being a knight, huh? I could never do it. It's extreme, that's for sure. Training every day is harsh. But the knights exist to protect people. I think I can put up with a bit of training. Wow, that's an impressive attitude to have. Yes, very noble. Your strength is the result of all this training, Matthias. Hey, what's with that face? As though you're expecting something bad to happen.
Yeah, we were just being nice to you. Come on, Sue, let's go.
Just a shock. I guess they finally accepted me. I'm not done for today yet anyway. Just you wait, Julio. Julio's his captain. Julio's his... I told you. What did I say? I said he's got Julio's moveset. No fucking wonder. Oh. Oh. That's actually really cool. And got Knight's Pride. Ooh. Ooh. Attack stacked out with beast mode. He's got a very high attack stat tucked away. Goddamn, Fierce's attack stat is the highest. I didn't even realize. Oh, are these events because I'm boosting friendship with people? And that's why we got so many Fierce scenes, because our friendship rank's getting higher? Is that what this...
Drossel, could you recommend a good book? Fierce told me you're a real book lover.
Sure thing. A recent recommendation would be Den of Dolls.
Something other than dolls.
Oh then, how can I resist that smile? Well, first then, A False Dream. A girl travels her dreams with some surprising twists. False Dream? Surprising twists. Good, good. There's a Mist Talker. It's a tale of horror, so don't read it at night. Mist Talker. Watch out for reading at night. Good, good. You get Sky Dancer either. Romance. This one will make you cry. Sky Dancer. Have a handkerchief ready. Good, good. It makes me happy to see her noting down all my recommendations.
It does?
That's just me. I have to note things down or I can't be sure. You've got a serious streak, Lydie. It's far better than forgetting everything anyway. Those are my best three at the moment anyway. I'm sure you'll enjoy all of them. None of them are all that expensive, so please give them a try.
I will. Thank you, Drossel.
Okay.
I fell asleep standing up again. Lydie, we done that?
And Sue has no interest in books at all. Looks like she has her own talents though.
Yeah, sleep standing up.
Is Drossel just going to stay in that sort of area then? Oh.
That's scary. That laugh was really scary, Miriel. I'm gonna have nightmares about that. You need to sleep with me tonight, Lydie.
It was that bad? Oh, sorry. You're watching those kids, right? Not thinking about eating them, are you? If I was going to eat anyone, I'd start with you two. You two delicious morsels. I'm joking. I was just taking a break from work. Watching kids play is very calming, right? I have not seen this side of you before, Miriel. Seeing them play so innocently, it gives me the energy to keep on going. To make a great kingdom that everyone will be proud to live in once they grow up. Most impressive, thinking about the future even when you're taking a break from work. Hold on, so you stop praising me. Hey Miriel, we're still kids ourselves, right? So how about you make the rank test a bit easier, just for us? Very well then, I'll make them as hard as I possibly can just for that. Sweet naive child would never ask such a thing. You're just proving your maturity. Yeah, forget I said anything. Keep things the same. Things are fine as they are. Then don't try to get tricky. Kids should be honest and innocent. There will be plenty of time for tricks once you're all grown up. Believe me. That's it. At some point we need to go... Let's go rest the night at the Atelier. Actually pick up what our next exam is and then wrap so we'll know what we're striving for tomorrow. Or not, there's something else to go see. Oh, this looks good. This too. Oh, I can't make up my mind. Excuse us, Drossel. Hey girls, what's up? Here to eat? No, we were just passing by. What about you, Drossel? What are you doing here? Shopping, of course. There's so many great things on sale here in Mervale. Which means I've bought too much again. Oh, how much did you spend? About 30,000 coal. What, that much? We could live for a year on that. Sue, I think that's a bit of an exaggeration. But it's still a lot of money. And you can afford it, Drossel?
Wouldn't that make Mr. Fritz mad?
No, it's fine. Reading lots of different books is best for a writer. He'll forgive me if I tell him I'm doing it for our plays.
Really? I can see him at least sighing a bit over this.
No, he'll be fine. Hey, something I want to ask you. Do you know somewhere fun to go shopping? Can you tell me?
What are you going to do? What? You're going to do more shopping? I'm jealous. I want to be able to spend too. No, Sue, you can't. Right, well, on this street there's a place called the Canaria Enterprise.
The Canaria Enterprise, right, thanks.
It's not the way. She really does get lost, doesn't she? I don't think I've ever seen Drossel heading the correct direction towards anything, right?
Right, now let's go to the castle and see what's in store for us.
Puny. Eat up. Oh, Elmira. Miriel, I've got some questions about that Puny.
Puny?
I've seen it before. Just where did you find it? I didn't find it. I was given it by the mayor of a town called Reisenberg.
Yeah. Of course it's the same Puny.
From Adele? So that's the Puny from the certification exam. The one that can take an infinite number of beatings. That Puny? That's right. I love to think of all the certified alchemists who know this Puny. Well, gnome would be a bit stretch. My recollection is more like used as a target. Yep. Yeah. I see. Glad you found a place for yourself anyway. Puny! You got a new job now, right? A cute one carrying letters around on your head. I'm sorry for throwing those bombs at you during my exam. Keep up the good work. Puny! Look at the praise being heaped on you today. Puny Samon, I've got some more work for you too. You've got 3 mountains to cross to deliver this, and I need it done by tomorrow. Puny! Looks like it's still a harsh work environment. I'm supporting you, Puny Salmon. Interesting. Your reputation is growing quite a lot. I think you might be ready for the exam. What do you think? Want to try the next test? Yes, I do. Very well then, without further ado, here's your next task. Create and activate Lightning Finder. Recipe will be provided. Quality of device will affect evaluation. We might be at this for a bit then. An investigation into an odd weather we've been having? Sure have been a lot of storms recently. Indeed, too many. I think you'll agree. Will you help looking into it? Of course! This is hardly our specialty though, and we don't know anything about lightning. No worries. We only need you to synthesize a device to measure lightning power and place it somewhere. Here's the device and recipe. Just make sure you make it like you see. Do it, then bring it here to me. I'll give you a bit of a spark. It can give you a bit of a spark, so be careful. Isn't it a failure if that happens? Oh, well, no matter. Okay, so it's only 1 rank. Deliver the item and make sure it's above the bar. But we also will try and fill it out for the extra point. I'm making another lightning bomb then. Oh, right, that one. Nice. It's gonna be way down here, I imagine.
And it needs to be as good quality as possible, so... Quality, variation... Quality, variation +5. Very spaced out, but we can make it work. Well, it literally has a quality boost on it, I suppose. Let's see what else first. Yeah, we should put well made on it, actually, that makes the most sense. Look at this is insane. What's this? Alright, we made it. I mean, we'll have to check.
Good. The measuring device is complete. Next we have to take this to Miriel. That's right. What's wrong? You don't look that all that happy. I'm worried about the thunder. There's been a lot of storms recently. Both Furious and Miriel are looking into them now, aren't they? I just hope it isn't like some kind of bad omen.
Oh, you mean like the thunder god thing that we were talking about? I think that's what it is.
You're overthinking things. The device is intended to provide the answers, actually. There's no need to worry. Just deliver the device and see what happens next. Yes, you're right. I'm just overthinking.
I'm gonna save, and then we're gonna see if it fills up the bar to max. If it doesn't, well, I'll just wrap, and I'll just grind up some resources off screen. Yes, nice. Thank you. I'll take this. Are you sure? Great work, twins. We just shed some light on this lightning problem.
So now we just go out and set it up? And we'll do it right away. See you later, Miriel.
Not even a smile. Set some light on this lightning problem. I thought that was pretty good. Go to Brazeweiss. Oh, hence why we're getting lots of lightning ore there. Ugh. We need to place the machine around here. Where exactly? Good question. A place to put the device. A place to put the device. I don't think it matters. It isn't going to make much of a difference. Huh?
Sorry, who are you?
Who am I is a trifling question. Lydie Suelle of Loon Street.
What? You know us?
With all the rumours, how could I not? I've been wanting to meet you both. I see now, yes, you have wonderful eyes, filled with ambitions and hopes. They're most striking.
Okay.
Hi, main villain. One last thing. There are some things in the future you can change, and some you cannot. You need to stop your futile struggle, and focus only on what can still be changed. That's all.
And he's gone. Just who was that?
Don't ask me. With all that talk about the future, maybe a fortune teller.
Anyway, back to the task at hand. Of course. We can't afford to forget why we're here. That's it. All finished. We completed the task.
Great, let's go and report it to Miriel. She doesn't try another terrible pun on us.
I'm sure I've met him somewhere, but I can't place it. I'm just imagining things.
I don't know, maybe. I didn't do enough of the post-game for us to know if that is something. Time to announce my evaluation. Hey! We're good. We're still in the clear. That's why I didn't save after we put it. Well done. Most impressive. In fact, I can't fault this at all. And there's the flash. Okay. You've placed a device. Thank you. Which means... Yes, you've received E rank, twins. Congratulations.
Thank you, Miriel. Which means...
What's the mysterious painting this time? Oh, I can't wait to see it.
Ah, well, about that. I haven't actually obtained a new painting yet.
No way. But you made a promise. You can't break a promise. Got my eyes on the next one, because the negotiations are dragging on. Which means I'm sorry, but you have to wait just a little longer. Very well, can't get selfish, can we? We'll be patient. It's very good of you. Got an idea, Lydie, Sue. Why don't you try looking for paintings for by yourselves? What do you mean, Matthias? We can do that? I had rumours that someone brought a large painting into the city recently. There's another world inside it, another world. A mysterious painting.
See, if we negotiate with him directly then.
We might be able to get a new mysterious painting. Want to give it a try?
I know about negotiations and strategy. You can count me in.
Sounds like a plan. Good luck. We'll keep up with our investigations too. That is, Matthias will.
What, me again? Right, first we need to find the person who has the painting. Who collects all the best rumours? Maybe Sister Grace, she talks to a lot of people. Or Lucio and Leonie, who runs shops. Let's go and see them. You think of more if it doesn't turn up anything.
Oh, okay, go visit all the people who have shops. Yeah, literally. But I am going to wrap it here. We passed our exam, and that's what matters. So I'm going to save and call this a stream. We went on for 3.5 hours. So I am trying to make these streams, you might probably notice in the past few, a bit more controlled in length, like 3 to 4 hours kind of thing. Make them more plentiful, but more contained than, like, less of them, but, like, some of them are big. Obviously, there will still be some streams that will be super big. Like, Genshin, unfortunately, ended up not being as much for reasons. But when 3.2 drops, that'll be a big-ass stream. When Sonic Frontiers drops, that'll probably be a big stream. At least I'd want it to be. But there's gonna be moments where there's still bigger streams, so to speak, just not yet. I'm enjoying the spacing we've got for this, but we got a lot done today. Well, mostly side questing, but we got a lot done. Next time, we are going to start going around and talking to people and trying to see if we can learn more about our next mysterious painting. But until then, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.